ganyan.
Welcome back to Diced Coffee, where a group of nerds gather on the internet to provide you unsolicited life advice and apparently drink spoiled milk.
Can we
Hey,
not?
Jay.
Can we
Spoiled
not
milk.
diss my Yakult?
That's all it is.
Can we
So,
not?
we're back with the level 20 campaign called Dragonsgrave, where we take a look at the Giliath household and their endeavors to try and make their home a little less frozen and frigid and basically unlivable. Last week, the Giliaths have discovered an ancient kingdom of changelings that has been completely left in ruins, seems to be uninhabited, and seems to have a cave not far from the kingdom's borders where they can mine mithril, a very rare and, at this point in time, almost non-existent material. He's thought to be. Aside from that, there is a supposedly cursed or haunted there is a supposedly cursed or haunted mountaintop at the very top of the Iceshard Mountains that are immediately behind the Changeling Kingdom, as well as a few secrets that they seem to be slowly uncovering. Meanwhile, safely in her home in the fortress of Dragonsgrave, Maege
Wow,
has
the shade DM that's being thrown means safely.
the maid,
Safe.
the Baroness Maege Giliath has done some politicking and somehow gotten the invite to join a mysterious baroness off to the far east for tea, dinner in her supposedly haunted castle. So, the morning after all these dealings have been done and the mine has been discovered, and Ida has completed playing Farmville and started creating a indoor magic farm. What would you guys like to do as the dawn comes to you? Any order of business?
You guys can go first. So just to recap, Lucas and Tristan and Tanya, along with Lucas, are going exploring. Right? They're basically going dungeoneering. I basically sent them to go dungeoneering
In the mountains.
in the mountains. Yep. Also to find out the changeling relic that's there.
Yep.
And at the same time, Baroness of Giliath, have also instructed my beloved sister Ada do some more R&D, figure out what's in those caverns below the keep.
Just off the keep's borders, unexplored caverns where no one normally returns.
She'll be fine. I mean, my beloved sister. You'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen?
Do you want me to answer that with historical?
No, I don't.
So,
I'm good.
first thing that happens is Tanya, Tristan, you awaken, get ready because you are the ones with the much longer journey ahead. As the two of you gather, Lucas, who is already waiting outside of the arcane library, where you're going to meet with Rosanna, who is going to activate the portal for you once again, just stands there, seemingly unbothered by the cold or the early morning or anything really.
Okay. Oh, before I go, I would like to talk to Jonas just really quick.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ask, Jonas, there are things that we need to mine beyond the portal. Can you devise a plan that this is something that cannot be traced back to us? Can a plan be if ever someone had found out that we're doing this type of things?
He thinks for a second because you're asking him to mine a place and then asking him to make sure that no one finds out it's from you if they find out you're mining the place.
There will be miners that will be coming along in the next few days, I think.
Yeah, all
coming
of them
from
working
the-
for you.
Yeah. And can you... I mean, what are the precautions that we could do so that this is something that cannot be traced to us if those miners are found out?
Kill the miners, I suppose. Each and every one of them will know who they're working for. If anyone finds out they're ours, their loyalty does not belong completely to us, especially not under.
Okay. I'll think about this. Thank you very much for the advice, Jonas. By the way, meta question, this will be around 2 days before the miners
Arrive?
came here.
Yes.
Arrive? Yeah, okay.
Also, visibly on your face, Jonas looks disturbed.
I know. I'll find a way, Jonas. But thank you for the advice.
Yes, sir. Goes back to his post. Tanya, you find Lucas first outside the arc.
He's going to like drink my cup and say, "Good morning."
Morning, Master.
And I'm just gonna sit in silence while drinking, like warming myself up with the hot milk.
As Tristan arrives, you also don't want to know what kind of milk you're drinking in the frozen north. But Tristan arrives.
You don't want to know. You don't want to know. No one wants to know that.
Oh,
Just find Tanya and Lucas waiting for you.
Hello, sister. You ready for a long day ahead?
Ready as I'll ever be. Still
Enter.
tastes like shit as much as I remember.
Enter the arcane library of Rosanna and Ida for general research and magic purposes. As you enter, Rosanna is already fully dressed, full makeup, got an issue. Her raven perched on the top of the beam, watching for anyone entering. As you guys enter, it flies on her shoulder. Good evening, lords, lady. Shall I have prepared a portal for you?
Okay. Okay.
Takes the golden sphere, starts twisting it around. Hands you the sphere. Only touch the rune.
Looking at Tanya.
The three of you gather together. Circle. As you touch the rune, you are instantly feeling that sensation again, being pulled a million miles an hour.
Yeah,
Stop.
how's that?
Back in front of exactly where you were, the center, the very heart of the town, where the view of the keep is visibly in front of you. Straight line. Lucas just to the mountain then.
Mhm.
To the mountain. How's that milk, little sister? How's the milk that you just drink? It's okay.
Just. I can. Remind me not to drink milk before we go through a portal.
I know.
Lucas has already disappeared, going off ahead to scout for anything dangerous. So you don't see him in sight anymore.
Shall we?
Yeah. Wanna change appearance or something?
I mean, Lucas is already here and he knows that I'm here, so.
Okay. Let's
Okay.
go.
Walk through, you head over to the keep, which takes you about 20 minutes. And you've already seen this before, where the keep is sort of embedded into the mountainside itself. And you do find what used to be what you assume is a guarded gate that's just completely been demolished. Climb up through the mountain. Make a perception check for me. Actually no, never mind, because Tanya has 29. Um, passive. Passive perception 29 is annoying. Tanya, you look around without really noticing anything. This place is decrepit. Been years since anyone's touched anything. But there are portions of this staircase and just the general outline of the walls and everything that seem to have been visited more, not recently within the last few months, but oh, it's actually, yeah, more recently within the last few months. Someone's been here. Or at least someone has climbed up these steps. You can see the dust kind of disturbed on each of the steps, and some footprints left behind.
Well, looks like someone got here before us. Few
Um, th-
months, I'd estimate.
this is the meta level. This is the same one that where we found the sheet, right?
Oh, you're in the mountain now, not the keep.
Oh, we're in the mountain. Oh, that's curious. Uh,
Can I roll
Mm.
something to see if I can find out what kind of race or estimate
Yeah.
what kind of race was in here?
Investigation. You have to take the time to investigate.
And maybe I'll roll survival just to see where the footprints are going. Is it in the same direction that we are into the caves above?
That was enough for Tanya to notice earlier. Go up and they go down.
They
Oh.
got it down. Okay. Dirty 20.
Human. A lot of humanoid footsteps at least. Nothing monstrous. So a whole
Okay.
number of humanoid footsteps.
Can I throw on a wig? Just alter my appearance a bit. Very minimal, but just
You want to
slightly.
put on a wig?
From my disguise kit.
You can change your hair.
I mean, I can, but Lucas is here, so he would know that I changed my hair. That I changed my everything while he's present, so he would know that I'm a changeling kind.
Okay, sure. You can put on a wig.
Mhm.
Fine. See enough? You move through, going up the mountain. This is a regular mountain path, although oddly enough, it's not like any mountains you've ever traversed before. It is still frigid cold, given it's still part of the Iceshard Peak. But the mountain itself seems to have a defined path. It hasn't been used in a while, and such the snow has sort of gotten in the way, and the cold has kind of blocked off a lot of it. But it is still a defined path that's just buried under the snow. Seems like this place was meant to be traversed and climbed up.
Okay.
Climb up forward. You just find what looks to be skeletons of long dead animals. There are a few winter dire wolves that are just kind of there as their habitat. Some birds. So these are just kind of creatures that have lived here or just found purchase here. You don't find any signs of the same people who would have made these footsteps, although you do passively just kind of notice there's a trail going down as there was going up. So kind of gives you the idea of it. Whoever was here, they're done. So you guys just keep moving upwards, and I'll actually get back to you because it's a long, long walk up. Maege, as your siblings have woken up much earlier than you have, and you have woken up at the appropriate time.
Appropriate time, not too early, not too late.
Yep, just the appropriate time. German efficiency. There's a knock on your door, almost on command, as if knowing when it is time for you. Almost as if the knock is already aware of your schedule. And you hear the voice of Lord Bane. Baroness, a word?
Lord Bane, good morning.
Good morning. There has been a raven delivered from Baroness Kiara. Her associate will be arriving late afternoon to collect you and whoever you would wish to bring to the meet. He has an updated letter claiming that she has no qualms about how many your finest soldiers or security you would like to bring.
That's never a good sign, is it?
Sign of confidence.
Huh?
Would you like to send a reply, Baroness?
My very modest experience in politics, Lord Bane, whenever people are confident about how many armed guards you're willing to bring into their house, never without good reason.
True, but if you were to present yourself as one who was willing to bring armed guards and presenting yourself as a force that can handle them, regardless of how many you bring, does show power that she is not to be trifled with. I believe she is sending a message.
That is also true. That is also true. Tell me, Lord Bane, how much do you think we should tell the Baroness Kiara about the relic and the portal?
I would not dare to provide advice that I am not 100%, but this is more of an opinion than it will be counsel. Baroness
Fair enough.
Kiara is an enigma, everyone, and that is because she does not divulge her secrets. However, the one thing known about her, she would prioritize arcane and magic research, loyalties, any guild. The interest she would have in the relics that you have acquired. Should you be willing to part with, may very well be enough to buy her favor, as it were.
At least for a short time.
That would highly depend on the nature of the relic and how interesting she finds it.
To understand, Lord Bane, this puts me as Baroness in the house in a very difficult position, because one of the other things, if I can be frank with you in confidence,
Of course.
if she is as powerful and enigmatic as the rumors are, I suppose given your vast experience than mine with this sort of thing, how would I be able to negotiate with her so that how would I frame the question? What's to stop her from just taking it the moment I offer it? Because I am also aware that we are in no position to negotiate at the moment. So as you do say, it's also important that we look the part.
That is your answer, Baroness, looking the part. You see, no matter how powerful you are in Azram, all guildmasters, all barons, even you know this, regardless of how much power you hold, there is no one singular person who can take on a united front of the rest of Azram. Despite the position that your family has been placed in, an attack on you, regardless of what you may have done, without the approval of the guild, is not acceptable. It is a defiance of the orders of the Guildmasters, and she would draw her ire. Therefore, as long as you do not bring the relics with you, does not attempt anything, and I'm sure she will not, as she herself understands. No one person can just break the rules so easily and so outright. Just the notion that we have it, we are willing to share it, but not so foolish as to bring it, may be enough to spark her curiosity. It is not the best leverage in the world, but is leverage nonetheless.
Understand. If that is to be the case then, Lord Bane, how many guards do you recommend that we do bring? look the part, as it were.
Once
I-
again, Baroness, I am uncomfortable giving counsel of matters I'm not sure of, but as for an opinion, she is making a display of showing that we can bring as much as we want and she can handle them. From what I've known with her dealings, even when she was just a young girl, she respects those who display their own show of strength. I recommend bringing one associate to show that while she is ready for an invasion, we do not require force to take her on. A passive show of aggression.
Suppose then, Lord Bane, it would seem too easy and too convenient, and far too dangerous to bring you along with me. You can't very well have both the Baroness and her chief archivist away. I mean, I need you here guarding. Suppose I would ask that you send me. Has the Lord Commander left yet?
Yes, the Lord Commander, your sister Tanya, and that young strange boy Lucas.
For everyone that stayed here, Lord Bane, bring me the most fanatical bannerman we have. Fanatically loyal, that is.
Practically loyal.
Excluding yourself, Lord Bane.
I believe I have just a woman. Excuse me,
Man.
Baroness. I shall collect them. Nods and leaves. You need to do anything?
No. I think I'm good. I'll just be off screen for 10 seconds. I just need to take a bio break. Go on.
Sure. Alright. Ida. You awaken in your chambers. As you leave, what's the first thing you want to do?
I'm going to check my farm.
Heading to the main keep of Dragonsgrave, to the basement where the dungeons are normally placed. Find the larger, kind of 40-ish square meter room that has been allocated to you, where soil has been gathered, still smells like manure, but necessary for the fertilizer. They have finished destroying the cement tiles to make it a natural earth connected to the ground. The various sort of metallic orbs that have been embedded into the walls that should contain the daylight spell necessary to foster the growth of small plants and vegetation have been placed. The runes are being practiced on by Celestine, because Rosanna is around this time. Rosanna is currently making sure that the orb will bring back your two siblings. So you see the cleric Celestine in her kind of almost divine white robes and vestiges with a hint of sort of sky or light blue on them, as she continues the research on the daylight spell to infuse it into the material. As soon as you enter, Celestine just looks at you and says, "Lady Ida, good morning.
Good morning. How's the research?
It's going splendidly, actually. Rosanna has provided me with some few lumps of mithril, which is what we used for these orbs. Has sped up the process quite a lot. I think by the end of the day we should have a first, daylight spell infused into one of these orbs. Oh, and the farmers, the farmhands, have managed to gather quite a number of seeds. Town. They've just returned. Mostly vegetation and produce, of course. And some mangoes.
Mangoes? Is it
Yes.
possible to plant mangoes in this area?
Well, with the daylight spell, we should be. We have also come up with the idea of infusing some form of a heating spell, perhaps fire somewhere along the edges of the walls, give it a more heated feel, as it were. Make sure that the vegetation can grow, and if all goes well according to plan, we should be able to grow even tropical produce, at least in small amounts. This will, of course, not work on a larger scale farm, but for a small isolated room, I believe, something.
That sounds lovely.
Are you still wearing your sun hat?
Yeah.
Okay. Huge wide rim hat that Eda just has around her head. Yes, quite lovely indeed, Lady Eda. Did you need something?
Oh, I'm just going to ask if there's anything needed for this area. I know there's sunlight and warm temperature stuff, and what about water?
Well, water we have an abundance of. It's a matter of melting the ice around us. Most of this is prepared. It just requires a little more research to infuse the spells. I am not an enchanter, as you can imagine, like Rosanna, so a little more difficult, but I can manage until she is free to join me in about an hour or so. I was told by Rosanna that you required to, or you were aiming to explore the caverns, howling caverns outside. Require any assistance?
I would need her. I couldn't. I won't do it alone.
If I can provide any form of assistance, do let me know.
Okay.
As for on here, I think I almost done. Soon enough, we will have our own produce. Not enough to feed an entire town, but quite a sizable amount at the very least.
I mean, we're just starting. We don't have to rush things.
Unfortunately, that's not entirely true. Most of our people, at least here, are dying of starvation and lack of food.
All right. About it.
Yes. But we are doing the best we can. I will get back to work if there's nothing else, lady. Can you
Sorry
stink
for bothering you.
No, you will
I think I
never
have to.
bother.
I have to go back to my sister. I think she needs my help. Okay.
Of course. Just continues tinkering with this metal orb, and you can see her just kind of repeatedly casting a spell on it. It's a trial or error process to infuse an item with a spell, but she's trying. The mithril makes it easier because of how easy it is to enchant mithril compared to conventional steel. But still having a bit of difficulty doing it. So you're going to Maege? As you head up the stairs, going to the quarters of your siblings, you see just off to the end of your vision, Lord Bane walking out of Mage's room, doing his rounds, and seems to be looking for someone in specific. You head over. I am assuming you do not knock.
No, I don't know.
So Mage either just
Mage, I have plans for today. They need my help.
I think that one of the things they teach you in wizard school was etiquette. Go ahead.
I don't think so. They only teach us how to make spells and divination stuff.
And enjoy the wands.
Yeah, and
Enjoy
enjoy the
the-
ones.
And smiles. All right. I suppose, Ida. I have manners. Is there any update on the dungeon?
Oh,
Your dungeon, the dungeon.
it's progressing smoothly progressing. I mean, we have the sunlight now, and there's it smells like manure, but at least it has soil, and now it has warm temperature in the dungeon. We can grow mangoes in dungeon, which is a price, but it surprises me. And I don't know, I just farm stuff. Am I right?
Farm
I'm
stuff.
stuck.
Farm stuff.
Essentially, things are going. Essentially, things are going great in Farmville. That's good to know. I suppose then, if there's if that just requires finishing touches, I suppose I wanted to talk to you two about just the assignment to scout out the caverns.
Yeah, so do
I
that
suppose-
stuff. Sure.
To be honest, I'm a bit worried. I was wondering if you were going to bring if you were going to bring anyone else down there with you too. Or were you just going to go alone?
Some squires, I guess.
Have you told Lord?
Someone
Have you
capable
told the
of
Lord?
protecting me.
Have you told the Lord Commander about that?
Where is he? Where's Tristan?
Unfortunately, I think he's already living out the dream, being a dungeoneer. I suppose one of the things you could also do is talk to Lord Bane. You can take 2
Mhm.
of the Lord Commander's freshest recruits. They can go. They can go with you.
Are they willing to die for me?
Let's not answer that question until the next salary cutoff. Hands are tight. Let's just let's dearest sister, let's just do everything to make sure they come back alive. But they do need experience.
Okay.
Of course, if you are willing to offer a counter proposal, I'm more logical, well-mannered, well-groomed eldest sister is more than willing to consider the option.
You don't have that, you know.
Okay, no one asked you, but okay. I'll be all thank you. Take care of yourself, please. Find yourself 2 squires. Please bring them back alive.
I did told
Take
Yes.
some
Okay.
knights.
told our cleric
Okay,
to
so-
bring me 2 squires with me.
I thought
for
she's gonna use the arcane eye.
the cavern.
And also, I thought squires doesn't fight when it's
Yeah,
in danger.
squires are knights in training. They don't even know how to hold a sword yet.
They gonna run away
But-
at the first sign of danger. You'll be left
True.
alone there.
Alright,
When-
fine.
When the level is would
Alright.
take like
Take-
an hour for an arcane eye, so it's not enough for me to
You wouldn't
To at
know
least-
whether it's enough or not because no one's ever gone to that cavern and survived. So no one knows what's there.
but still. Mm-mm.
I suppose then I'm not requesting that you map out the caverns completely. That would take the better part of a lifetime. Just see if we can establish you know what, dear sister, as bold and daring as it sounds, a forward camp.
Oh. I'll take note of that. Yeah.
Take a few bannermen with you. You don't need to go that far in. We just need to know. I want to have at least an initial clue, an inkling as to what's down there.
Okay.
Alright. So,
Thank you,
Eden,
dear sister.
I mean, anything else I can if you're planning on going out of this, going out of our household, I might give you
Wow!
something special.
Everyone else giving me shade. Excuse me, I have been busy at work. All of you will probably just think I'm pencil pushing from my desk. Keeping us all from freezing over is hard work. I
No,
don't think I need anything right now. I suppose it's also just on the side also. I suppose on the side it's also just to keep up the security work with the elves. While we do need to be discreet, it's very, very important that we do continue to keep an eye on what's happening in the realm. I suppose moving forward, Ida, dear sister, I'm putting you in charge also of speaking to Alden. From my understanding, from a very interesting book,
You
seem
read
to have
my
quite the hots
book.
for him. So I may have overheard it from somewhere, but it's a tall accusation to make that I've read your very, very interesting book. That will be all, dear sister. You may go. Dismissed.
Going out of her room.
I
You fucking read my book.
I presume Ida just slams the door.
Yeah.
Must be that time of month. Here's tea.
Ida, you
Mhm.
are. I'm assuming you're preparing to travel forth, unless there's something else you need to do first.
Yeah, I'm going to pack my stuff, and then afternoon I'm going to go back to Maege, and then flick my finger at at her nose and cast mind blank, and then
Wow,
uh,
that's a waste.
and,
That's a spell slot. You're being petty. Are you on your period?
It's not that
yeah,
bad. She goes up to you and
it's not bad.
and for a second it hurts because she just flicked your nose, but there's this sort of warm kind of light that engulfs you. It basically makes you immune to psychic damage, and any effect where your emotions could be sensed or thoughts could be read, divination spells, you're all immune to all of it.
Oh,
The spell also,
well,
interestingly enough, the spell prevents anything from the spell prevents the wish spell from doing anything to you.
24 hours.
24 hours.
a tear guide you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, Ida, as you prepare to leave,
Mhm.
Celestine returns. She just looks at you and says, "My lady, you requested for assistance. I have gathered 2 knights that were willing." They just kind of stand there, waiting for orders.
Are they handsome?
They're in their helmets. Would you like to tell them to take it off?
Oh, okay. No, I won't.
All right.
I'm just curious.
So Celestine just looks and said, "These 2 are loyal to the family. They will protect you with their lives." Well, Jonas has assured me that they will. One of the knights just
thank you
gonna move
for-
forward. "We shall protect you to the best of our ability, my lady. Carriage and horse have been prepared for your
Thank-
departure."
I'm going to nod. Daintily.
You start walking forward to the carriage. It has been prepared for you. One of the knights will stay with you. The other one's going to inside the carriage. The other one's going to ride the horses. You make your way towards the
Okay.
caverns just outside. Barely an hour. especially on horseback. There is something to be said about the snowfall today. There seems to be a very light snowstorm happening. A lot colder, more snow is falling, and the winds are howling across the trees. The sound of that strange howling sound of wind going through these dead tree branches. It seems that even the animals are not out and about completely. But regardless, they have prepared a reinforced carriage for you to travel for. Continue your journey towards the cave. While you're making your way towards the cave, the two mountaineers over here have spent the better part of 2 to 3 hours climbing a mountain.
Stealthing. I'm gonna keep an eye on you, but I am going to hide. I'm gonna stealth.
I don't even want to bother asking for stealth roll unless you want to beat that massive roll.
So it looks like I'm just alone, right?
Yes.
At the moment.
Yes.
Oh.
With wolves, owlbears, and winter creatures, and skeletons of dead things.
Okay, since Tanya's not there anymore, I'm just gonna summon my Pegasus to make it faster.
You're taking 10
You're
minutes.
gonna leave me behind.
Oh yeah.
You're
I
taking...
mean, because they are faster than me.
Yeah, but the Pegasus is faster than everything because you don't have to climb, you just fly. You could have just taken from the base going up if you want to. But sure.
Yeah, I know.
You can spend 10 minutes sitting down to summon a Pegasus, to which Tanya, you see him just sitting down and meditating. Eventually, the sound of neighing of a horse and the Pegasus is summoned, white as the snow. Okay. You fly on the Pegasus, to which Tanya, stealthing around, going straight up, while you have to take a circling path.
Bastard. I said I'll keep an eye on him. How can I keep an eye on him? He was riding a fucking Pegasus. I'm just gonna like monk drone while walking and stealthing around while investigating.
Nothing like sibling love.
Pegasus only needs to fly upwards, and because it is a magic steed, it doesn't necessarily feel bad or get hurt in the cold. Just flies forward. For the better part of the next hour, you are at the top of the mountain very easily.
I'm just waiting for them.
On the top of the mountain, there is a cavern entrance at the very top. Sorry. You are at the sort of top here, and there's a cavern entrance, but there's a small footsteps that lead to the peak above. Like a 1-minute walk up the steps to lead to the very peak.
Can I just fly to the peak, just see what do I see?
You see a
Downwards.
perfect vision of what used to be a magnificent kingdom, now left in ruins and rubble. You also see the majority of the Hazion kingdom in the horizon. The trees, the various kind of structures that have been built, these kind of snowfall that's on the kingdom, the frozen lakes. You have a perfect view of the entire Hazion, and on the other side, you have a perfect view of Azram, and in general, just a general in the continent on your horizon.
Would I see if there's some nearby soldier stations or town from the mountain?
From that height, you wouldn't be able to decipher. Everything is small at the top of that height.
Okay. Well, while I'm there, I'm just gonna check for are there the same recent footsteps that we saw.
Make a survival
at the
check
bottom.
here.
Oh, never mind that one.
Oh.
Thank you.
Just
Oh,
kind
that's
of,
my footstep.
you just kind of see a lot of this area here, and just basically just see what's going on. You will be waiting for about anywhere from an hour to 2 hours for Tanya and Lucas to even remotely get there.
Okay, so I'm just. Oh wow! Now I just realized that's a dick move. I should have just brought Tanya with me.
Get ready for my wrath once I get there.
Very sorry about it.
You're so gonna get fucked. I'm gonna shoot that Pegasus down.
Oh.
So So you're just waiting for an hour.
Yeah,
This,
because my when I look at the entrance of the cave, what do I see? It's just dark.
if you went up to the peak, you're going down to look at the cave.
Yeah, because I mean,
Dark, and
just
you have no
dark.
dark vision, I think. So
I don't
you see
have.
nothing.
Okay. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm just gonna stay there.
For an hour and a half, you wait. Tanya, you are still climbing the mountain in stealth,
Extremely pissed, yes.
but
Still.
importantly, you're stealthing, meaning you're trying to be hidden.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna
Mhm.
take even longer.
Mhm.
So it takes Tanya about the better part of 2 hours to get to the top of the mountain after Tristan has managed to Pegasus his way there. Tanya, you are very exhausted from climbing a mountain, but not as exhausted as you would be given it is a fixed path. And you see Tristan there with his Pegasus.
If I see Tristan, I'm going to knock an arrow. Like,
Okay.
I'm gonna knock it, then I'm gonna shoot it like next to him, like not exactly to
Stop.
hit him, just to catch his attention.
Make a dexterity
Wasting
roll.
projectiles.
It's just a regular arrow, it's fine.
Yeah, it's a,
Make a
Yeah.
dexterity roll.
Oof.
Remember, you only have 20 arrows.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
buy one later. But what is this? Dexterity, right? That's a
Yep.
19. I want it to be as close as possible.
Right as Tristan is just staying there, because of Tanya's incredible stealth, it actually scratches the side of your helmet.
Once he
Oh,
looks at me, I'm
Tristan.
gonna flip him off.
oh, I thought I'm gonna be the decoy. I'm very sorry.
What kind of decoy goes over there 1 hour before the ambush arrives? I'm gonna kill you, Tristan.
Oh.
He's gonna investigate all that stomping all over.
What are you investigating? The peak, the cavern, or the outside of the cavern?
Outside of the peak first because we're there. So.
He's on the cavern.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Then
you
front
can
of the
walk.
caverns.
Inside? Or the...
Front, the
Okay,
entrance.
make an
The
investigation check.
entrance.
Make an investigation check.
I'll help for advantage.
Okay, thank you.
Don't you have proficiency with investigation?
I do, but I rolled a 2.
So it's 10.
Do I still have advantage because I got an extreme higher roll?
Yeah, you have advantage.
Okay. That is a 26. Got 19.
Peering through this area, it shows signs of kind of shaking. You can kind of tell that the cavern entrance really should have been nature roll, but it's fine. The cavern entrance has sort of, it has a jagged upward arc, such that it kind of just collapsed, and then you can find some of the rocks that have collapsed on the bottom. So it feels like this cavern has been through. It's odd to say this cavern had an earthquake, considering it's at the top of a very tall mountain, but it's sort of shook a bit. But no traps, no problems. There are some disturbances on the ground, kind of emulating someone going in and out of this place, and people going up and down from the very peak of the mountain. That's about it.
Well, looks like it had an earthquake here.
Yeah.
Like, here. And there are people going in and out.
Were.
Were.
But I
Okay.
probably think whatever is in there is already gone because people went in and out and all. Wouldn't
Yeah,
wouldn't hold my breath really.
I'm just lighting my torch. So
Okay.
I think maybe if you're good, let's just go in.
You enter through
Then I
the
put my
cavern.
goggles in and stealth.
You enter the cavern. You enter through the cavern. Tanya staying behind.
I'm
walk
alone.
It becomes a sort of normal cavern, but then you see a small path surrounded with wall. And as you walk that path, you find this narrow, like 6 or 7 foot wide path and about 20 feet long, and at the end of it seems to be a pedestal. As you
And
keep
it's
moving
empty?
forward, on the side of this narrow path, oddly for a cavern, a bottomless pit where you cannot see the very end of the drop. Move forward. This pedestal is just there. Decrepit, destroyed, without anything there.
Any writings? I
Nope.
can see.
No writings, no markings. It's just decrepit pedestal. No indication of what was there, what it held, or anything at all.
Just having my torch looking up. Anything.
The top of the cavern, presumably where the peak is, or was.
As expected, there's nothing here anymore.
I know. But the on the bottomless pit, it is on our back, right? Right now.
Sides and front. Pit. Pedestal in front, surrounded by pit, and the path that you walk, all both sides pit.
Oh,
One misstep, you fall.
The pedestal is in the middle.
Is
Then
at
bottom.
the end of the path in the middle of the pit.
Oh, but there's still a path, right? One misstep and
One that is from the weight. There's nothing supporting it under there. And you can hear the rocks giving way.
Do I hear how
Yes.
far it goes, though?
You actually do not. You don't hear it end.
Tristan, you want to drop your
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
fire?
Can I drop my torch?
You want to be blind in the middle of a place that's about to collapse?
Damn you.
I mean, you can light another one.
Yeah, I'm just
I
gonna
don't
light
want to touch
another
on my
one.
back.
Then drop
Let me
the
put it this
second
way.
one.
Have you ever tried opening your bag blindfolded and trying to find something that has oil and then lighting a fire?
No, I mean
I
I
can
have
see.
my other torch and I just pulling
Yun-
up the other one torch.
Like cigarettes.
Or Tanya would give me another torch. So I have two, then I drop one.
I'm sure that the Lord Commander has experience sticking his hand into damp, dark places.
Eventually,
It'll
the
be
torch,
sad if he doesn't.
Eventually, the torch gets engulfed with the darkness
Oh,
without making a sound as if it stopping.
Okay. Oh shit. What do I have? So it's just darkness?
Tanya, you are able to hear
Are you here?
the rock
What?
where Tristan's standing is giving way. There's nothing support.
Well,
It's a pit. It's a straight, thin rock with nothing supporting at the bottom, and a bottomless pit drop.
Tristan, let's go.
I'm just gonna go.
You guys leave. Portion of it gave way as soon as you left it. That thing is not designed to support people anymore.
Okay.
Well, there's nothing to
Um,
see here, I guess.
I know,
Kind
but
of disappointing.
can I? No, I'm not that type of paladin. Do I mean, do you have way to detect magic within this place?
I'm not a spellcaster, Tristan.
I know.
You're the only one to have spells.
You
I'm the
hear
only one who
a
doesn't have spells in
voice.
this family.
You hear a voice that just says, "Where's this?" And Lucas just comes out of the shadows without any warning to any of you.
Do I notice it?
Nope. You only notice it when he says something. Where's this? He shows you a silver orb. I asked it from Rosanna. She let me borrow it. It's supposed
does
to
it
glow. Supposed to glow when you're surrounded with magic around its area.
Is it glowing now?
He twists it. It emanates this huge aura of light.
Okay.
He just kind of looks and he starts pointing it across the walls. And then he just kind of informs you, if the light is touching a certain place, it's full of magic. It goes to you guys and sort of engulfs you in the light. It goes to the walls, engulfs the light. It goes to where the sort of path that you were on. The entire path, the rocks, everything is lighting up. This place looks like a geological structure made of magic.
Aida's gonna have a field day in this place.
Curious.
Why?
He turns it off and hands it to you, Tanya.
Yeah.
In case you need it, I'll look outside.
Thanks. You keeping it with me?
Yeah. You guys want to do here?
Well, there's nothing else to see here. I'm gonna go check out the peaks.
But by the
You
way,
better
there's-
not use that Pegasus to move down and leave us behind again.
I'll give you a ride,
Finish.
but are there any writings on the wall, on the path? Nothing to.
Nope. It's an empty place.
Hang it. And then I'll just join Tanya to the peak.
Tanya, in the peak, you what can only be described as a beautiful vision of the continent. On the one side, you see the kingdom of Hazion. On your horizon, you see the various elven spires that have been erected as normal for elven culture. The frozen trees, the snowfall, the sky. Looking around, you find the various different continents, cities, and civilizations all across. And were you a different person, this would be a very kind of majestic place to just sit and meditate. A beautiful sight, regardless. But that's what you see around the top.
Well, it is pretty. Can I investigate the place?
Sure.
See if I can find anything interesting?
Sure.
Oh, that is a station 23.
23. You take a look at the path here. Very clearly someone's been here before, as seems to be the case with the entire path going up. So take a look for a bit. Nothing disturbed other than the people who've been here before.
Do I see eggshells? I'm just gonna look.
You would have seen those on the entrance.
Eggshells.
The entrance of the cavern. You would see what looks like eggshells, except they're solid gold.
Well, that's something to take.
Make let's call it intelligence. Straight intelligence.
What intelligence? Again, what intelligence? I rolled a nat 1. Total of 2.
Give you advantage if Tristan is aware of these golden eggshells.
It is gold. It looks like shell, so who the fuck cares? It's gold.
Sorry, this would be on the no, that's my mistake. This would be on the top. This would be on the peak, not the entrance. Right? Make a roll.
Okay.
Make it an advantage. Let's say Tristan's helping you.
Okay. Ooh, not 20, not 1, not 20. Ooh,
Nat 20
that sounds valuable.
Makes it 21. First, you do piece
No.
together
Yeah, 21.
that this is what is essentially a golden egg, right?
Mhm.
The other thing that you piece together is that this is a dragon egg, hatched dragon egg. The
Just
shells aren't
someone
complete,
has
by the
shot.
way. Someone has kept the shells, but you find the small shards that they missed out on, enough to kind of determine that it's part of an eggshell. Someone hatched a
Just-
golden dragon here.
How are dragons at this age?
Currently in the middle of a war with some vampires over in the east.
So there's like everyone knows that they still exist, kind.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just gonna. Well, at
Yeah,
least you found
let's-
something.
Yeah.
Do not involve ourselves in
They're just shells.
international affairs. No.
Nigel,
no.
just a quick question. I do have. if I use a planar ally spell, from the beads that I have, can I just ask questions to the celestial?
If that's what you get.
If that's what I get.
You beseech an otherworldly entity to give you an ally.
Yep.
That doesn't it does not again it does not tell you that it does not answer any questions. It just gives you something.
Oh yeah, that's why. I was about to ask him to investigate something. Why the
Can't-
place is magical. I cannot do that.
You can use planar ally to summon something that might help you investigate,
Yeah,
if it can.
if it can. And then I'll use that inside.
appears
If it's
under no compulsion to behave in any particular way. One sec.
just double check.
You have to pay the thing. You are given an ally. It does not follow your orders without incentive.
Yep. How much money would I have? Mhm.
How much do you have?
No,
You
I
own-
don't. I don't have any money. I just want 60 gold. I mean,
You didn't bring
Oh.
any.
I didn't bring any. Okay. Maybe I'll just report to Rosanna. It's magical. We don't know anything about it.
So you won't use it?
I mean, I don't have money.
Okay.
I don't have money to use it.
Alright.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay.
You wanna ask your sister?
You have a lot of money, more money than me.
I'm a rogue, aren't I?
I know.
Maybe Maege will find something missing, and I'm kidding. I don't steal from the treasure. I don't steal from the treasury.
Okay. Then let's try.
You
Ask your
beseech.
sister first. Maybe she won't allow you. You left her on a Pegasus after all.
This is for the kingdom, sister. Yeah, I'll pay you.
You
You're paying me
beseech.
back.
You beseech a greater being, requesting for aid of an investigator, something to help you. What's the specific
Understand.
request?
Understand the magic inside the cave.
All right. And the magic of the cave. There is a small kind of ray of light that pierces through the big shadows for the first time. A sunlight that hits this area. First time you guys have seen sun in a long time. Just as the sun kind of shines forth. Just there is a being. You see chains come from the sun. The chains come from the sun itself. And within those chains that start to light up this vibrant gold. There's a humanoid figure that stands about 10 or 11 feet tall. Large golden wings feathered that get retracted to its back. Gleaming gold armor. A large sword to its side, proportionate to its size.
And
It
just
stands.
says,
Summon. Aid.
yes. Thank you very much for answering the call. We would
Speak.
like to we would like to request to know the origins, or understand the magic that is happening inside the cave.
You are on hallowed ground. What do you offer?
I'm just looking at Tanya, how many golds do we have? I think
I got 2,000 in my bag.
around 1,000 gold.
Looks around. That is not appropriate knowledge. You.
How about 2,000?
Isn't that what you just said?
No, I
1,000.
said 1,000.
He's lowballing.
It's 2,000.
Are you attempting to negotiate the bargain?
I don't know.
Do
I mean,
not
that's just all money.
insult me.
That's the only That's the only currency that we have. That's all. 2,000.
You are clearly
now?
unaware of what you deal with.
I'm
What would
just
be
gonna-
enough?
What would be enough? How about
The
weapons?
knowledge you seek. Or ancient. He's looking curiously at Tanya.
I'm gonna step back warily.
Ancient.
Well, you
You
didn't
s-
have to point it out.
Your history. 10,000.
Yes.
Oh fuck, we don't have that much. Nigel meta level. If we call again, it will be him or it's random. Or do we need his name?
Really depends.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm
Lucas
just gonna
hands
say
you a bag. Tanya. Shadow.
Hmm?
8,000 gold pieces.
Thank you very much,
Do
Lucas.
I want to know? No, I don't want to know. I'm gonna give it to him.
I never
Don't worry.
purchased
I'm gonna
anything.
give.
I haven't
give
purchased
you-
I haven't purchased anything. Not since I was a boy. It's all the
I'll-
money I've ever had.
I'll give it back to
We're
you.
gonna pay you back, Lucas.
I have no
You
need for
know.
money,
No, we will.
and it will not be
Okay.
used. Gives you the bag. Bag disappears in his hand. He moves forward, looking at the cavern entrance. You stand at the entrance of what once housed the tablets. Tablets strong enough to give any individual the power of a god. The god. Many wars have been waged for those tablets. Many lives lost. The war ongoing in the world is waged for those tablets. The war you currently live through now. Not but a few months ago, another one, such as yourself, Changeling, was here. When faced with the ultimate temptation, becoming a god himself, he refused, instead opting to destroy the object. To make sure that no one else has to die for it. These mountains house the tablets, and your race volunteered to protect it. And for their efforts, they were wiped out. And he gestures to the destroyed kingdom in the back. But they did not leave without defending it. This mountain was once cursed. Monsters, demons, unkillable soldiers, all designed to protect the tablets. Until that one changeling braved them all and destroyed it, leaving no need for such creatures to exist on this mountain anymore. Is there anything else?
The tablets of fate. It's gone, right?
For the meantime,
For the meantime.
Yeah.
The tablets are what you would call a universal constant. They must exist to ensure that the God of Gods is not given too much power, too much influence. Their destruction is but temporary.
Okay. Is it just something that is postponed and will reappear during our lifetime?
Not your lifetime.
Okay.
Another question. The changelings, they were attacked by elves, right?
High Elves.
For this.
They were wiped out by the High Elves. Complete genocide.
For the tablets?
For the secrets the changelings protected with their lives. There is not a soul alive who understands the tablets, nor did they know what was atop this mountain. They simply knew the changelings protected great magic, and the High Elves wanted it.
Okay. Are most of the secrets of the changelings are in the books that we have gotten?
They can only be read by a changeling, and you barely have anything on the surface. You have notes of individual people who lived in the latter years. The rich history is long gone.
Well, I suppose that's it.
Yep.
There's
Thank you
nothing
very
else
much.
out of interest in this place other than that.
He points to one of the spires that have been erected by the Wood Elf Kingdom in Hazion. This particular one looks like it's made of obsidian.
Mhm.
You count that?
What is that?
A beacon. It is designed to grant the Wood Elves measurable power. At a cost. Whatever they're willing to pay. They have yet to discover what it is or how to use it. They have yet to even understand what it does. It is housed on the very top floor of that obsidian tower they have erected. They have no idea what it is they hold.
What kind of power does it house?
He looks to the other side where Azram is. Certainly more than enough to destroy this.
Huh.
Oh. Is that something of a forbidden knowledge for the Wood Elves? The reason why they don't
They
know
do
that?
not even know that it exists. It is not even their magic. It belonged to the changeling. Once. They found an item. It allows them to breed, harvest, grow in this frigid wasteland, and they used it without any idea of what it is truly capable of.
And what about this one? Gonna show like the shard of the dragon shell.
That was simply left behind by the changeling and his companions. They had hatched a golden dragon here.
Oh.
Oh.
Is the changeling still alive?
His eyes turn white. Yes. Though some of his companions have fallen in ill fate.
Do you know where he is?
Southwest. Southeast, rather.
Yeah, I need to review the map. It's review later.
Across the world or in this continent?
You guys are northwest.
I meant like in this continent, like in our
Yeah, is it in the
Southwest.
continent or southwest?
southwest of our country, kind.
Southeast, closer to Zarg.
Southeast.
Ah, okay.
Zaragat. Alright.
He steps back into the circle made of chains.
I'm just gonna bow.
Sunlight that you've seen gets covered back in fog and fog.
By the way, Nigel, is someone that we know or the one
No.
that had been summoned? No, just a celestial that was.
You never know who's summoned.
Okay. Oh, that's a curious conversation, little sister. And I'm pretty much sure we can have some bargaining things that we can use for the wood elves.
Lucas has been
Yeah.
around, by the way. Every time he called you
Mhm.
changeling, he's just standing there unfazed.
Yeah, no.
Well, he's usually unfazed every time, so that's his default.
But
Oh.
that
Yes.
I'm just gonna stare at Lucas.
Yes, master. You require something.
Nothing. Nothing of importance. Have you known all the time?
About what? Was fairly obvious. I thought everyone knew.
No, and I would prefer no one else knows.
I never say anything to anyone.
I know. Anyway, looks like we're done here.
hitching a ride, sister?
Can the two of us ride the Pegasus?
Yeah,
Should be.
it's a large horse.
We're both tiny.
You can ride.
Can ride.
Yeah, you can ride.
Lucas is not a small kid.
Oh my god, I thought he was a small kid.
He's a 19-year-old boy.
I'm okay, fair.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I thought it was a kid.
You
It's good.
ride on the horse, get back. Go with Team Cave Exploration. Ida,
Just
as you are riding with your two knights. Ida, as you're riding with your two knights, heading over to the caverns outside of Dragonsgrave. We're still muted, by the way. You move through, and you want to talk to the knights that you are traveling with.
Now I'm going to stare at them. I'm going to stare at them while
There
I
you go.
travel.
There's only one that you can't
Uh-uh.
stare at. The one who's inside. The other one's outside on the horse. He has his sword, shield, full armor ready. If you're not talking to them, then you're going to arrive at the caverns in about 30 or so minutes. Curiously,
Okay.
the creatures that are normally plaguing the forests outside of Dragonsgrave are not present here. This is a forest that is quiet, without any creatures, and the only sound is from the howling of the wind through the trees. The two knights stand ready. We are at your disposal, Lady Ida. They light torches. You'll head first to ensure your safety. Forward. Follow behind them. Yeah?
mhm.
Follow behind them as they move. Dripping of water.
I will ask them to stop first. Keep me safe while I'm using an eye. Tapos I'm going to
They
cast
draw their
Arcane
swords.
Eye and
Okay.
Mhm.
Um,
Gonna going to cast Arcane Eye and then survey around the area.
right. Sit down, take out your book, and focus your energies. The only you are able to see this is there is this mystic eye that floats. The only you
Mhm.
you move it around. Um,
Mhm.
it has dark vision of 30 feet and can look in every direction, so you have to keep moving it around 30 feet.
Mhm.
There's no limit how far it can be.
Yeah.
How far down do you want to bring it first? Forward. So far, you're in a straight path.
Is there any parang other direction or different
Um,
path?
depends how far down you bring it.
I'm going to move forward for 100 feet
At the
far
80
away from the
foot mark,
below.
at the 80 foot
Uh-uh.
mark, you find you find a bunch of paths that are not defined, meaning they're not man-made caverns. These are just natural kind of crevices and paths in the cave that a normal person would have to squeeze and crawl through to fit. The arcane eye can go through the front one. There's one at the bottom that looks like it leads downwards. There's one to the right, a little bigger. One would you like?
There's, can you repeat it again?
There's one in the front,
Like-
which is a little fin that you have to slide through. There's one at the bottom, which looks like a crawl space leading downwards. And there's one to the right, which is a little larger and fit a person.
The first one.
One in front.
Uh,
The arcane eye has no problem slipping through this fin space. As you get through, you find a clearing with this crystal water. But it is 100+ feet, maybe 120 feet from where the arcane eye stops. Straight down. There's crystal blue water.
I'm going to move forward.
Okay. You move it forward. The arcane eye does not hear anything. I mean, move it forward. It's on the water.
Mm-hmm.
Surrounding the water, it's sort of like a lake in the center of a cavern. Large cavern opening. In the cavern opening itself, there are multiple different paths. These ones do look man-made. These ones are not natural paths. There's surrounding this entire cavern about 9 of them.
What do I see? Can I use perception if there's something alive in the caverns?
The arcane eye is able to see.
Even on...
Make a survival check with the eye, through the eye's lens.
Oh, okay. Survival. I'm going to use my lucky feet.
Okay. That sounds familiar, Jay. Going to use my lucky.
I got a 15.
15.
Can we not?
15. Eye scans closer to the ground. You find footsteps. Large, 4-clawed footsteps. They're huge. Each footstep is about 4 or 5 feet long. Find smaller footsteps leading to a different door, more human-sized. You find what doesn't look like footsteps. You find a trail left behind, like a slug, only giant. Find multiples of those trails of different types. You find
Can I follow the larger footprints?
the beast-like footprints. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can follow them to what looks like the biggest door. And while it is not natural, it looks like it was made by something just ramming through the stone by force. Travel through, the arcane eye moves 10, 20, 30, 40, up to 90 feet forward until you see the jaws of something. as it moves through. And following behind it, it has tendrils. Originally, you thought it was just a tail, but there's 8 of them, and then there's a large tail in the back, just moving. Want to follow the creature? Follow the creature where it goes. Make me a nature check.
Uh, 11.
Nature doesn't. I'll let it be history if that's better for you.
It just
Nature or
like,
history will work.
just like to make a note, this is the first time
Same.
that I heard you say nature check.
Same roll,
Yeah.
but nature or history.
Same roll. Okay. So it's 11. Flat 11 plus 11, 22.
22. You don't understand the nature of the beast, but you have read stories of T-Rexes, dinosaurs, except this one is distorted. This one, from your the arcane eye has dark vision, which means it only sees gray. It doesn't perceive color. But this one looks like the T-Rexes you've seen. The small kind of hands, large, huge tail, but there are tendrils coming out of its back. Tentacle-like tendrils.
That's weird.
And there's a multitude of them. 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 gathered around the area you've gathered. And then something floats along the way. Humanoid figure in robes, floating towards the T-Rex, kind of gesturing as it feeds the creature this weird-looking beast. Tosses it. T-Rex is. It turns around as if it's looking directly at the arcane eye. It moves forward. Still forward towards the eye. Are you doing anything?
I'm going to wait, what who do I see first? And then,
You don't it's not close
I want
enough to
to-
see the full detail. You want to let it get closer?
But it's floating, right?
It's floating above the ground, moving towards the eye. The eye is invisible as far as you know. What do you want to do?
I'm going to end my spell, and
You're not gonna wait for it to reveal what it looks
I mean
like.
it's not okay. I want to see the floating humanoid clearly, and then end my
Understand.
spell.
Okay. Moves forward. You find dead eyes of a singular color. Tentacles where the mouth should be. The strange shape of a creature. It reaches out for the eye and then you end the spell. You
And
can
I'm
make
going
me an intelligence check.
Okay. Oh, fudge. Lucky feet.
Sounds like Jay.
Okay, this is a not nice roll. It's a paw print, so it's a not 20.
20.
I got a paw print, so it's a not 20.
You know what that is. You've read them. You've heard stories of them, the terror. That is a mind flayer. And it seems that they have injected their tadpoles into dinosaurs down here.
Ew. This is interesting.
The guards look at you and say, "Is something wrong, my lady?"
We should go.
As you say
This was
that,
something interesting.
3 mind flayers appear. You can hear in your head as they speak psychically. Into death.
Okay, bye! I cast teleport. Okay, bye.
Yes, teleport. Hold on. What level?
Wait a second. So, bale, it's 10 feet around me, right? You,
The guards are around you, but I'm asking what level you casting it.
oh, wait a second. I should lang. Oh my god, I'm panicking.
I'm just teleport is a level 7 spell. I just want to ask if you're casting it at a higher level or not.
Yeah, I'm going to cast it on,
Because 7 is enough to take the
wait
guards
lang.
with
I
you.
don't think it, yeah, 7, level
Okay.
7, spell slot.
So, as you see them, you reflexively use your magic, start casting a spell. The Mind Flare steals your magic away and counters it. I need you to roll initiative with the guards.
Wait, i-counter nila? Wait lang, counter?
Yeah.
They countered it?
Yeah.
Like, counter spell?
Yeah, counter spell. That's why I was asking
What
for the level. 7.
I was 7 then. Ah, shit. I was about to use my portent.
No, that's why I was asking, because they can match the level.
I don't think that could happen. It's not 7th level. I got a
No. If you're
15.
casting counter spell, 3rd level below automatically countered, no roll. If the spell that you're countering is a higher level spell, you can use a higher level spell slot to automatically fail it, or you have to roll intelligence to see if it counters. So that's what
was
I
about
raised
to
the
use
level
my
so that it would auto
portent.
pass, because he doesn't have to make a roll if he uses a level.
Okay. It's okay.
Okay.
I got
What's-
a 15. Got a 15.
Well, you're not the last to move. You're certainly not the first. I don't know what the level 20 Mind Flayer does. So, first thing it does. Remember, there's 3 of them. One of them rolled shitty. So there's 3 of them. First Mind Flayer opens his hand, releases a spell. This cube of energy surrounds the cave. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Okay. Oof. Wait a second.
Look at the guards.
Oh, I got the 20. I got the dirty 20.
Nope, that's enough. We'll take half of this. The guards, unfortunately, will take all of it. So that is gonna roll on the roller because that is way too much. Roll for 1 for me.
Yeah, level 20 Mind Flares. Shit.
Why didn't it roll? There it is. Oh, that's sad. Oh well, that's enough. So 37 points of damage. Halved is 17, 18 points of damage to you, Ida. 37 to the guards.
Oh, are they unconscious?
Oh, not that weak.
Okay.
The Mind
Nice.
Flayer then uses what I gave it, a dual cast ability to cast another spell. This time pointing at you who cast the spell. I need you to make 1 more con save.
Okay. Oops. I got a 19.
That's not enough anymore.
Okay.
He takes 63 more points of damage. As it points its finger to you, this arc of disgusting green lightning threatens to attack your very soul as he casts Finger of Death. That is his turn. One of the knights looks at you and pushes you back about, runs towards the Mind Flayer.
Oh my god.
I love it when paladins crit. So, I'm going to cast.
There's a paladin Mind Flare?
No, the third
Okay.
night. Her paladin.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna cast Divine Smite at level 5.
I was
which
about
brings
to
it
quit. Paladin
Fine.
mind players. I'm out, bro. I'm out. I didn't sign up for this shit.
I'm out.
Which brings it to 10d8. So his first strike deals 66 points of damage to the mind player. Making it down to yep. And then it takes a second attack. Does not do as well. The first attack, the sword gleams with radiant energy. It crits. The second one, the mind flayer just backs away from. The second mind flayer's turn, recognizing the threat from the other knight who just attacked the first one, is going to cast a good spell to cast. It's going to cast Gate.
A counter spell.
That's a level 9 spell.
Level 9.
You have to make an intelligence roll. Or cast it at
Nice.
level 9.
Last time someone used Gate in this campaign,
I'm
there's a
going to-
Tarask!
I'm go-
Remember, they can dual cast. So they can cast 2 spells in one turn.
Yeah, I'm going to use it.
Alright?
I know. Yeah. 7th level.
Okay.
Okay.
So 12. 12-ish.
I got a 13.
You're fine. As it summons up a gate, eat it, and there goes its 9th level spell.
Nom.
It's not very happy about that. So it just points its finger at you. Again, make a con save.
$14.
You take another 61 points of damage. Making you through the chest. That ends the mind player's turn.
Christ.
Ida, it's your turn.
He's hanging. She's
Hanging.
What do you want to do, Ida?
level 20.
Level
Wait
20.
lang. Level 20.
I no longer need to hold back.
Can I, okay.
You're doing
That's
it.
why I just
Yeah,
wanted tea, motherfuckers. I just wanted a tea party. Fuck
Tea
that level
party.
20 combat. Fuck that.
I was expecting
God.
it's me and Tanya, by the way. We'll have a combat.
Oh no, Jay would know that
don't
there was no
want to.
combat where you're going.
Yeah, but I didn't want to meta
yeah.
it.
I really want to use teleport again.
You can. What level?
Pero 9?
9?
I don't think. My God, only.
You can. You can cast it on whatever level
Yeah.
you want to cast it at.
Okay.
9th level.
I'm taking.
9th level. Ida. 2 mind flayers. One of them without one of them's gonna counterspell you.
At what level? At what level?
What level?
Remember, only one of them used a
I'm
9th
going
level
to
slot.
use my portent. I'm going to use a portent.
Remember-
I'm sorry.
Only one of them used a 9th level slot. So the second one's gonna use his 9th level slot to counter it.
No!
Level 20, guys. He's gonna counter it. Throw it back out. You have drained
To
the
be fair,
9th level.
Tristan, if it was the two of us, we'd be dead because we have like really low int.
Oh, yeah.
You wanna
We're
do,
both
Ida?
dumb.
Run, bitch, run.
Ida?
Bitch, run.
Run, bitch. Run, bitch. There's not much else we can do here.
Ida, what do you wanna do? Any bonus actions?
Misty
Wait,
Step.
wait a second. No, I don't. I can't use miss the step. I already used my action for it.
Misty
For
Step
Yeah.
is a bonus action.
It's a
Yeah,
bonus
but
action.
Yeah,
he
but I
already
used a
cast.
spell.
Ah, right. So you have a
Spell.
cantrip if you have.
I hit my head.
Yeah. Press the
Yeah, I have to
dictation.
run.
You're running away.
Sparkles before you die.
Okay,
Yeah.
you run away. Your full.
Whee!
What's your full range? What's your full movement? 30 feet. What's your full movement?
Yeah, 30 feet.
All right. After you, another mind flayer goes, following you. I don't know how much HP you have, so I'm gonna take a risk. Going to point and cast Power Word Kill. How much HP do you have?
Is it below?
Man, I'm going to die.
You're below 100.
Yeah.
As it puts its hand in front. Die. As you run away, the breath leaves your body, and you are down to 0 HP and unconscious. The knight, immediately seeing this, one of them just kind of looks in your last moments of consciousness. One of them just looks, "Get the lady out of here!" And he just starts striking. So the other knight goes up to you, also 30 feet. Gives you a full lay on hands of 100 HP. All 20 levels. So he gives you 100 HP back as he puts his hand. Lady, must flee. And the paladin.
Fear.
Lay on hands is an action. It is. Sorry, he doesn't have. Sorry, that's my bad. He doesn't have. Yeah, sorry. It's not 100. It
Aura
is.
of protection.
It's not 100. Ida. It's 95. You have 95 HP. I forgot I multi-class this guy to fighter for one very specific purpose. Just so you know, Mage, most of your knights, most of the paladins here are multi-class to fighter to some degree.
Okay.
Wait, my math is off. I'm so sorry. Ida, final 90 HP. You have 90. That's how much he gives you in lay in hands. Most of your paladins are multi-class to fighter mage for the very specific purpose of having action surge.
Okay.
So as he runs to you, he gives you 90 HP with lay on hands. Gonna trigger action surge so that he can actually do something. Come on, paladin, get me good here. He's going to cast Banishing Smite on his sword. He's gonna go up. No, he cannot. Never mind. He can't move that far. He's already moved his full movement to get to you.
Maybe Sanctuary on Ida? So that she can run away?
Whew. I was hoping you wouldn't use that eye to looking. Oh, these.
Oh yeah, don't have.
An expeditious. Looking for the paladin spells. He doesn't have anything useful. Nope, he's gonna cast Banishing Smite on his weapon and hold his action in case anything comes near you. Back to the first Mind Flayer's turn. It is going to attack. You see the first Mind Flayer, the one that the other knight's attacking. The tentacles wrap around the head of the knight. Crush, you can hear the metal. The metal breaks. And the knight says,
Wait, is he using an attack?
It's an attack.
I can put my portent not one at him.
Okay. Oh, the knight is fine. Does it just blocks it? Nope, if he attacks, he can't dual cast. Knight takes his turn. Vanishing Smite. That's a lot of dice. Roller. 8 plus his 5. 5d10 plus another 5d8 for the Divine Smite that I'm about to use. 62 points of damage, right? So, he takes his sword. The echoes of the Divine Smite strike and fill the cave. The Mind Flayer is banished for 1 minute as it disappears. He just starts walking to the other one. Okay, so no Mind Flayers have a level 9 anymore. Next Mind Flayer just looks at the knight. I'm out of Finger of Death. Yep. Thought this through. Well, Chain Lightning. You are not within 30 feet anymore. So it's the two knights have to take 10d8.
Counter spell.
Make an intelligence roll. What
I'm
level?
going. 6th level.
Okay, then no roll. Siphon its magic away. So it's gonna use its dual cast. To cast Circle of Death. That hits
Oh,
everyone.
that's worse!
Make a Constitution saving throw, please.
That's worse! He baited you. You just got baited.
I'm gonna cast it at
Chain
7th
got
lightning
level.
on
30,
people
20.
wearing armor is not a good
I got
thing.
a
How much?
30, 20.
You save, so you take
30,
half.
20.
Ida, you take only
Oh my
13.
God.
The other knights take 26.
Wait, the paladins don't have an aura of protection.
They do, but they're not. They still don't save.
Oof. Rough.
All right, the paladins don't look too good. As the Mind Flayer's turn, Ida, it's your turn. You have one paladin in front of you ready to defend. One paladin about 60 feet from you. Sorry, about 30 feet from you. He walked. What do you want to do?
How many Mind Flayers left?
Two. Sorry.
2.
No, the other one's back. No, sorry, 2. But one of them's only banished, so he's gonna come back in a minute.
One bitch.
There's 2. The paladin in front of you defend you. Run, my lady, just go.
Can I wait? How far am I away from the Mind Flayers?
One is 30
60 feet?
feet, one is 60 feet.
Okay. I'm going to cast Fear first.
What's the save on fear?
No, you don't have to save. I'm going to use my
Hold on,
portent
hold on.
5.
Hold on. 1 second. 1 minute before you use your portent. No, it's immune to fear. It's immune to charm effects.
I'm going to run. Run, bitch.
Okay, you run 30 feet away. The other Mind Flayer, you guys can see, is going to cast. One to cast is going to kill this bastard. Disintegrate!
Yeah, this is...
And that's a 1 on the save. Oh, that poor paladin.
No.
Actually, I'm gonna cast it at 7th level. So 13d6 of damage plus 40. Yup. Yep, one of the paladins, the one that has his action prepared in case anything comes close to Ida. There's a green light as it points its fingers. Release that light. The It looks at Ida running away, just nodding, and then looks at his looks at his brother in arms, just and turns to ash, just instantly disintegrate along with all of his items. Ida has run away. It is the other Mind Flayer's turn. He's gonna do the same thing. Oh wait, no, sorry, that one's still banished. So the knight is gonna run after the Mind Flayer and yes, 2 level 4 Divine Smites. Well, on the plus side, one of the knights does end up killing a Mind Flayer. Just with his glowing blade. Radiant strikes. Mind Flayer goes down. Ida is not here. Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
assume. Oh, so
I'm
you're running?
here.
Because it's
I'm
black.
fixing. Yeah,
I'm gonna
I'm
assume
sorry. I'm fixing something.
one of the knights that was protecting you just turned to ash. You want to keep running? You can try the teleport spell
Wait to
now,
look
by the
back.
way. They're no longer within range to teleport. To counterspell.
No, I used. Wait lang. Let me check. Teleport. No.
You have a
I
7th
don't
level
have
slot?
any higher.
Oh, rough.
No, only have, yeah. No, I don't have any 7th level.
Do you have teleportation circle prepared?
Uh-huh.
That is a minute to cast though.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Or do you want to just keep running to the cart?
I'm going to. I don't know if there are other person left inside the cart. Inside the cart.
Nope.
Only 2, right?
Those were the 2 knights and you. One of the knights is Ash. The other one's still fighting. If you use your action to dash now, you can make it to the cart.
Yeah, if I have to, I'm going to dash.
Okay. We are out of combat because you have left basically any area. You've run to the cart, riding, and just make an animal handling check for me.
Oh, sure. Wait a second. It's so dark. Oh, nice. Sorry. I got an 18.
Yeah, you managed to get the horses to run at an expedient pace. Looking behind, you don't see anyone following you. So, you're out of combat.
Bad.
Those knights are certainly dead.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere, as you ride off with the horses, you can hear the distant gone.
Oh dear.
You run forward.
Dear.
So, eventually, with all this debacle, Ida, you arrive back in Dragonsgrave right around the time that... Actually, no, you arrived there earlier, way earlier than Tristan and Tanya. They took hours to climb a mountain. As you arrive,
Yeah.
a Maege, you were just around your usual inspections. You see Ida arrive, bleeding, hurt, damaged, and lacking 2 knights.
I'm going to for the nearest squire, get Celestine.
Yep, Celestine was already kind of running forwards. Just kind of puts her hands 9th level cure wounds. He's going to heal you until
So what happened?
He's going to heal you until you get full health, so you can have full health.
Mind flayers in the caverns. T-Rexes with tentacles. Those 2 brave knights fought hard just to save me, save my ass, and then, that's it.
What? What? 'Cause I'm a great old one warlock, right?
Yes.
Is there anything in particular I know about the mind flayers in the cavern specifically?
Y- You would know about mind flayers in general, but not specific to the caverns because you don't know what's with the caverns. But you are aware that mind flayers are aberrations, which are basically D&D terms for aliens. They are outworlders, and being a great old one warlock, your patron is also some form of divine aberration.
Right. Correct. Exactly.
So you know there's some kind of connection there. At least in terms of where you come from.
Ooh. Then about the two knights. Gone?
Gone like ash.
So casual.
Have that many men. At least we know then that
There's also other
even two of
things.
the bravest warriors.
Sorry, either you can tell them that there are other things there. There were humanoid footsteps that don't belong to mind flayers in there.
Ah, yeah. There are two other humanoid footprints that I
Sets
saw
of
in the
humanoid
caverns,
footprints.
and crystal water, like crystal-looking water inside the caverns.
We do know that something can survive down there. Something humanoid can survive down there.
Yep.
Case. Oh dear sister, I'm sorry I sent you. Okay. How much more time until I have to meet with Baroness Chiara?
4 hours, give or take. Till her wizard arrives to
hours.
fetch you.
Look around for Lord Bane.
Yep, he kind of approaches Baroness.
The names of the two knights that fell defending Lady Ida. Their families. 1,000 gold each. Send them our regards. Write a letter. You know the drill.
Of course, Baroness. I shall have it done. Haste. I believe the knights sent over were... Just looks at the records. The Reginald Stormguard and the Donris Slave. I shall inform the families at once.
Also see that you conduct the proper funeral rites for knights.
Of course. Starts
That being
kind
said-
of delegating. And
That
starts
being
moving.
said, sister. That being said, sister, it cost us two nights and almost cost us you. What do you think we should be doing down there? Do you think we should be continuing expeditions?
We need more manpower just to beat those fucking mind flayers. God damn it. I was about to save those two knights. Couldn't even take them with me.
Want you to, so I'm a spellcaster too, right?
Yes, you are.
On Nameta. I'll want you begin looking into elementals and minions. Talking to Ida.
Looking to what?
Elementals and minions. If we are able to summon or conjure or Maege is just going to look around to make sure no one is listening because this is where she gets really warlocky and really spooky. Where like if we can create things to go down there for us. But in the future we don't have to lose more men down there.
I mean, if you could teach me, I can put it on my spellbook and.
Actually, you need a scroll to put on your spellbook.
Mm,
Also,
Look.
Ida, do you have a source of light?
yeah.
Can you turn it on?
Oh, sorry.
Thought source of light was an item. I tried to look at it through like my book.
No.
I was like, source of light.
Yeah.
There you
Like
go.
what you said, you look like a whistleblower without the light.
So, Ida,
Yeah.
you require scrolls, magic scrolls, to be inscribed in order to put in your book. However, the art of creating constructs is not something that you are unfamiliar with. After all, Azram used to be the #1 place that created Warforged as a slave race.
I mean, I can only create homunculus, but
As a spell, yes, but in terms of
as a
extended
spell.
research, you'll have to go into the city or send someone to the city to find the process of creating Warforged. If you want to take it.
Homunculus. Perverted Outworlders. What could go wrong? Could go wrong.
So, you do anything, Ida? What's the end of this conversation?
Oh, we're done with the name. Yeah, I need you to start looking into constructs. We can't lose more men anymore. That means need to find we're going to need to find a more efficient way to map out the capitals. Without losing more men.
Apparently
Need to
we
have a
can
word
see
with Tristan
arcane
when he gets
eyes.
back. See arcane eyes. They are mind flayers, which means, and I'm just going to look at, and I'm just going to look at as if I'm part guilty and part uncomfortable with the subject. So we may have more in common than I might like to admit. So see what I can do. For now, I suggest you get some rest. I have some things to do.
I need a beauty sleep.
Alright. So, Ida goes off to get a bath, some rest, and mourn the fact that those 2 knights were in fact quite handsome.
No! No!
About an hour before you need to leave Maege, Tristan and Tanya have returned in the arcane library, portaled through with Lucas.
Home sweet home.
Yeah. Oh, my dear Baroness. Oh, we'll be going.
You can go to her, yeah.
Yeah. My dear Baroness.
Go- Commander, Tanya, report. Take it everything went well? Seeing as you both
Yes.
haven't lost anything? No.
First things first. We owe Lucas 8,000 gold. I'll tell you the
You
story.
do not, Baroness. I was informing them that I have no use for such items.
Is there anything you want, Lucas? A toy per ano. He's
19.
19 pala, no?
A
He's
toy?
19 pala.
What kind of toy is it, Baroness?
Perhaps he
Is
pulls
it
out
anything you want,
his
Lucas?
dagger. Perhaps a replacement for this dagger. I have used it quite too often and it has lost its edge. It became quite difficult to kill more targets without it.
Send it to the Lord. You may send it to the Lord Commander and then to Celestine afterwards. See if she can prove it in any form. Sure,
Thank
she'll
you.
manage something.
Thank you.
Commander, dearest sister.
Lucas
report.
leaves.
Yes, and Tanya is a little low for 2,000 gold too. But I think the information that we're about to give you is worth it.
On.
Okay. So, unfortunately, the tablet of fate isn't there anymore. We did find out that it is a certain changeling that has wished to destroy the tablet.
Tablet of Fates being the ability that gives you power even more than the god.
It
Why would the
something that
changelings want to destroy the Tablet of Fate?
maybe they're just tired of protecting it.
They didn't
I
exist
mean, the
anymore when he did
kingdom-
it.
Oh yeah.
It was only done a few months back. The Changing
Yes.
Kingdom was destroyed several years ago.
Okay.
Centuries.
Yeah. But
Years
Eventually,
ago.
at least not in our lifetime, the tablet will come back because it is used to balance out the power of the god.
Who's that power? Apparently.
Yeah. And one thing that I think will help us with the wood elves, the reason that they are self-sustaining at the moment, even if they share the same weather as us, is that they have this obsidian tower
The
thing
artifact is in the obsidian tower that allows them to grow crops.
that allows them to grow crops. They don't know the real potential of it. It is something that is created by the changelings, and it can actually destroy a whole city. Is it city?
Can destroy the continent.
It can destroy the continent, but they
Got
don't
it?
know that they don't hold that knowledge yet. It's
You attained this relic?
no, they have the relic. They have that relic and they have been using it for farming. But they
Changelings.
Elves. The
The
wood
Wood elves.
I'm sorry.
let me re-summarize this. The
yeah,
wood
let's
elves have this relic that belonged to the changelings. It is atop the obsidian tower that is at the very heart of the Hazion Empire, which is north of where you guys are. They don't know what it is, they don't know what it does, but when they first moved to Hazion, if you recall, the wood elves were refugees who took the land because no one was there. When they first moved to Hazion, they found it, they realized that there were crops and flowers growing around it. They experimented, they realized they could grow crops as long as it was within a certain range of this relic. And so they use it to grow crops and food and supplies for themselves, which is how they are so much well better off than you are, even though they are further north and the conditions are much harsher than yours is.
yeah, but they don't know that it is that powerful.
As far as they know,
Yeah.
it's just a farming tool.
Yeah, it's just a farming tool. And also the changeling that chose to destroy the Tablet of Fate is somewhere southeast, close to Sarakat. If that is something that is of importance.
Aragath.
And they just hatch a golden dragon. A few
I don't
months
think it's
ago.
good to go to Zaragath with all the vampire dragon business going on.
And a few gods who went down from the heavens to fight in their avatar form.
Hmm. Though we might, I don't know how eggs work, but I'm gonna show like the shards. What do you want to do with this?
No, actually, what can you do with egg shards?
Melt it? It is made of gold.
They are also magic,
I'm gonna bite
so
it.
if you melt it and mix it with some metals, you could enchant it. It's not enough to be mass produced. Enough to
Yes.
give something, something an extra boost if you need it.
I'm at the loss. There's a lot of information to take in.
Yeah, that's 10,000 gold worth of information, unfortunately. My dear sister.
1,000 is worth it, but I suppose until we figured out how to negotiate or talk or have a proper conversation with the wood elves, no one is to know about the abilities of their little relic.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to know that yet. The only time they're going to learn about what it does is at the time and place that benefits us. For now, that'll have to remain a secret.
Yeah, and it has something to do with the relics. Would you like our dear little sister here to read more books?
Come on! Ada's going to work on disenchanting it. I don't want to go back to studying.
Maybe there's something about those scribbled books that.
Ada can disenchant the chant whatever spellcasters do in the books. Said you can dispel it, right?
Older sister has just been through quite a lot. Perhaps we'll give her a few days rest and maybe in a fortnight, you can go back up there with her to do all the research that needs to be done.
Smiling
What
at
happened
Tanya.
You
to
need some.
Gonna
But
flip
what
off
happened to
Tristan.
Ida? But what happened to Ida?
Ran into patron deities, civilized followers.
Well, that's vague.
What? Is it something that concerns that would endanger our current keep? Or yeah, current place?
There is
My
something
dear
to be. Yeah. If there is something to be gained from it, at least we know that going down there is near suicide. And for knights.
You
So if
already knew
someone,
that before.
so if someone,
Yeah, we did that before.
At least
They
we know what's down there now.
change. We know it's suicide.
yeah, at least, but at least now I also know I have some, like Maege, have something in common with some of the things that live down there.
Okay.
So maybe
What?
later tonight, um, you're all never mind. Maege is gonna stop talking at this point. I have an appointment with.
Speaking
patron.
of, there's a knock on your door from Lord Bane. Opens. Baroness, may I present to you High Wizard. He just kind of moves forward. Argus, Baroness Giliath. My name is High Wizard Argus Mariketh. I
I'm
am
just
Baron
gonna-
Kiara's Archwizard, Head Researcher, Master of Arcana. Your presence has been requested. Preparations have been prepared. And as stated before, you are free to bring as many men as you wish.
Going to look at Lord Bane.
He is.
Be able to.
Now go on.
You're be able to find the requested companion.
Yes, Baroness. He is waiting in the circle as we speak.
Well then, I'm just going to look at I am just going to look at Tanya and Tristan. I suppose after all that, you both deserve some rest and relaxation. Time for Big Sister to do a little bit of politicking. You know how it is.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna bow. But I would have some housekeeping that I would like to do about the mining later.
Mining?
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't know about it. I'm just telling on a
Meta.
meta level.
Okay. Then I'm
Right.
just going to lead. Okay.
Before Mage goes, I'm just gonna bow, like really respectful, like a squire, and then I'm gonna say, Baroness, would you prefer if someone else were to assist you with this meeting? Implying, pointing at, implying myself, but someone else.
I'm going to stop. You know what, Lord Bane? I changed my mind. There are more useful things for one of the more devoted of our squires to be doing. I think perhaps that another companion would be a more fitting court for me
I will
tonight.
go summon her, Baroness.
I shall dismiss the squire then.
I'm gonna go get changed.
High Wizard Argos have gestures and you can follow him.
Mhm.
You want to ask him any questions on the way to teleportation circle?
Just about himself, really. So, High Wizard Argos, why don't you tell me a little more about yourself? Seem to be in service of a very interesting lady.
That I am. I was but a boy when my family was killed in the war. Kiara
Sorry.
was mage at the time, wizard. Found me, trained me, protected me. She took me in, taught me. And over time, I had grown in my talents. And such, I seek to repay her kindness best I can.
Men such as you were hard to find, High Wizard Arcus. Then I'm just going to keep walking with him.
I would not
Saying
have
no
told
more.
us to say that. Moves forward. Eventually, Tanya, how do you appear?
Mm. Before I go to her, I'm gonna go to Celeste. Is Celestine the wizard or the cleric?
Cleric. Also, if you're going to meet up with them in the circle, you do not have the time to roam around, especially if you're going to change clothes.
I was just going to have her spike my head or something.
Give me 20 seconds.
Sure.
Okay. Oof. So no magical protection. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna go into someone like a squire. Looks like a squire, basically. Someone that would actually come, the one that would act, what was supposed to accompany Mage, but not exactly that kind of look. Just
Okay.
same nondescript look.
Move forward. You see Mage and the head Arcanist talking. Some of the secret passages circumvent and kind of move a little faster and quicker.
Okay.
Mage, as you arrive, you find a squire waiting for you, with a knowing look in his eyes. The
Fairness.
Arcanist looks at you and says,
I know it. I'm not going to say anything. Go on.
The Arcanist looks your way and says, "Only one person? Very well." He leads you to the circle, starts adjusting the runes on the circle. We're teleported. You're teleported. To your surprise, not in a teleportation circle. It seems he has fought. He looked like he was about to use teleportation circle, which means he had to draw the specific runes that are tied to his castle. But instead, he just kind of stopped and then used the teleport spell. You are in front of a grand dining hall, with just the singular long table prepared with a massive feast, where Baroness Kiara stands at the edge of it, the shorter edge, the seat of power, if you will. There are seats waiting for you. Baroness Kiara stands at, you measure about 5'6" or 5'7". He's wearing a long regal silk gown that has the color of black with accents of navy blue on the side and a few gold here and there on the cuffs and on the neck. He has this one large ruby amulet. 3 rings on the right hand, 2 rings on the left hand. Long, flowing, kind of dark red hair, almost the color of blood. Thick. Kind of fixed to the back and tied formally. She has a glass of wine in hand, looks at you and says, "That's certainly interesting, the 2 of you. I prepared such a massive feast. In any case, please, sit down, Baroness. Enjoy yourselves. Eat, be merry." Yourself takes some food from the plate and starts eating.
Yeah. Going to sit down and then I'm going to look at the squire. I know it's Tanya.
Yeah,
You do.
Yeah. Okay, so I know it's Tanya. I am just going to look at Tanya as if to gesture that it's okay. And then as I sit down, I am just going to remark to Baroness Kiara, you know how it is. Politics and theatrics. Although after all, when you are bringing around that many men, it can get quite tiresome at times. I'm sure you understand.
Of course. Please, enjoy the feast. As you are eating, you can hear the sounds of chains kind of echoing in the very room, not outside, but from the room, as if the sound of chain being dragged for a wood floor. But you don't see anything. You can see candlesticks on this beautiful stone wall kind of moving and shifting and moving themselves into different places. You see the flames on each individual candles flicker on and off, creating sort of this ambient reddish orange light from the candles. You see various kind of books that are living and kind of moving from shelf to shelf,
Ooh.
as if arranging
Yeah.
themselves. And over at the table where she, what looks like a work table, there's a quill pen that is writing on a scroll on its own. Kind of dips on the ink, starts writing again, and then you hear the sounds of sort of as the chains are getting dragged through the wooden floor. You can hear the footsteps echoing through the room. It is an uncomfortable feeling being surrounded by all these phenomena that you are unable to make sense of. But as you eat, Kiara looks at you. So, Baroness, might I ask why you called for this meeting?
I'm just going to I haven't started eating yet. I'm just kind of looking to first. I suppose I was going to say I wanted to pay a cordial visit. Of course, you would have known from the beginning that would have been a lie. I am here to make friends, but moving on to a more interesting note, there is something of that I thought would be of interest to you. See, a woman of your reputation, a woman such as yourself, Baroness Kiara, if I may say so myself, tend to have quite the reputation throughout the kingdom for being the enigma and quite the whiz when it comes to matters of the arcana, if I may speak freely.
May? And perhaps some will challenge that, but others might agree. What is it that you believe would be of any interest to me, Baroness?
I'm just going to rest both of my hands on the chair, like my hands together. The old changeling kingdom, Lady Kiara.
The ruins up in Hazion, what about them?
Of course, I would not be sharing. I would not be sharing this with you without knowledge of the fact that this would leave me a bit vulnerable. However, I am aware that a lady of your talents might take as much interest in such ruins as my family has as of late. It appears we have found. I'm going to hesitate for a bit, just try and pick the right word. Found an artifact that, how should I say, expedites travel to the old ruins of the old changeling kingdom at Hazion.
You see. What is it that you offer exactly, Baroness? And what in exchange are you asking for? That is the purpose of the meeting, if I am not mistaken?
I am offering you, my lady, a chance for research. Of course, the condition would be that research if you please. Of course, there would have to be a few rules, but those are little minor technicalities that we can iron out. I would be more than happy to grant access to some of your scholars or magistrates should you need to access the ruins. That can be easily done through our keep. I'm sure you understand, but the device itself feel much more comfortable if it stayed in the walls of my own family estate. However, you are of course more than free to come and go as you please, as a sign of friendship. As for what I request, I'm just going to give her a very smiles that are both sly and demure.
Yep.
Cersei Lannister.
Yep.
I would just I don't think I'd really request for anything. Maybe perhaps we could dine more like this in the future.
I see where this is going. Offer knowledge and a chance to obtain it. Exchange for perhaps an ally to be. Much as I do not like to dabble in politics, understand it. Sure, yes.
Wait a minute. A meta level. How old is Kiara?
25.
So she's younger than I am. Or alright, okay.
Youngest Baron in all of Azram.
She says that.
Rumor is that
Yeah.
he strong-armed it.
Yeah.
The position. For political maneuvering.
As she says that. Fuck you, TJ. As she says that,
Mhm.
I'm just going to go. Not so curious. I wouldn't go to call it that. Curious Lady Kiara. Only perhaps. I am sure you are aware that life out here isn't easy, particularly for anyone. Of course, I don't doubt to know your position, but you are younger than I am, as I understand it. But from what I hear about you, you are wise beyond your years. And I don't say that as mere flattery. Rumors about you are anything but. Those are rumors I come to respect.
Changeling King. Race of people able to change their appearance at will without the cost of stamina, power, or magic. Quite a useful trick it is. There's just one glance over at Tanya. Useful trick indeed. Just a glance back to you.
Yeah.
So allow me to understand this correctly, Baroness. You are offering me a chance to either myself or my arcanists to travel via your circle to Dragonsgrave and use this portal to research as we will. Correct?
Correct.
Under, of course, the very reasonable assumption that we are to keep this between us, without the guild's knowledge, and most certainly without the Wood Elves' knowledge that live within the kingdom. By technicality, own this land, man.
I wouldn't dream of such a thing, my lady. And then at some point, I am just going to look at Anya and nod as if it's okay to change into your real form.
Do I see anyone else in this room other than her?
Seeing? No. Hearing? A lot. Mostly those phantom sounds.
I'm gonna look at Maege like asking for one more signal before I morph back.
Confirmation. It's okay.
I'm gonna morph back to Tanya, not my changing form, just Tanya.
Yeah. Tanya.
Ah,
Pero like the morphing form, Baroness Kiara is going to see that, right?
yes.
And then I'm
I'm
just going
gonna
to say
put my hood on before I morph back.
a very useful skill indeed. And then I'm just going to smile at her.
There was a woman with that skill once before in the curious. So, Baroness, you offer me knowledge and access to it. Claim you request nothing, but perhaps more invitation. I am not a woman who likes to be in debt. not unreasonable. One day, end of the week, I shall send Argos and 3 other wizards under my employ to your keep. Be given access to this location you speak of and safe travel both going. Well, they don't necessarily need travel back. They can handle themselves. That is fine with me. The information pans out. If they find anything interesting that then remotely fills my fancy, as it were. If you request nothing, as I said, I don't like to be in debt. I will give you something to what I believe is an equivalent exchange. And as for these lovely dinners that we are having, I see no reason we can't continue. You seem to be a woman of interesting nature.
Flattered you think so. Rest of the kingdom doesn't seem to agree.
My dear, the rest of the kingdom's opinion matters as much as the pig's shit in my backyard where it fertilizes it. The only opinion that ever matters is the one you build for yourself. You believe in it long enough, they begin to believe it. In fact, as a sign of good faith, I will offer you this piece of wisdom. You would not be in the situation that you are now if the kingdom truly did not believe highly of your abilities. At least that of your parents. Whether you live up to that stature is up to you. But this situation that you have been given is not because you lack a reputation. It is because that reputation has been flaunted in the wrong way. If you are to flaunt your strength and reputation, you are to make sure that no one can take it down. Otherwise, it is best to remain, looking at Tanya, in the shadows, Baroness. Be sure that when you are ready for rumors and reputations to be spread about you in stories, sure that you have the forces necessary and the leverage needed. Make use of it, otherwise you will find yourself in the situation you find yourself in now. But let's see if I can do something to make this perhaps a little more comfortable for you. Stands up. One moment. She walks over to the bookshelf. She stands about 15 feet from this massive bookshelf that covers this entire wall, about 20 feet from the ground. Puts her hand, uses a mage hand. One of them grabs a book. Comes back to the table. The book in front of you. It's a simple ritual developed perhaps about 10 years ago or so. Assuming you can get your hands on some winter-based animals and farm them, this will expedite the breeding process. Then several years to several weeks. It will cost your whatever wizard you do quite a lot of energy. They will recover over time, but just be sure whoever uses their magic for this particular ritual is fine with you to take perhaps a week off. She offers you paper and pen, and she's not offering the book. She's offering see the quill kind of move from her table to the paper and starts writing, basically rapidly copying the entire ritual on a scroll. Then as the quill goes back, closes the book, wraps the scroll and hands it to you. In exchange for allowing me to see what you have for myself and for a lovely dinner. The scroll. One of many things the oracles do not know how to do, might add. So you might want to keep it. How do they say it? under wraps.
It's very rare, Ikara. The woman should live up to her reputation. I'm just going to stand up,
He just
bow.
stands, finish your meal, just looks at you
Yeah.
and says, "My Arcanist is more than happy to bring you back to your place post-haste. He will show you to the circle, unless there's other matters you wish to discuss for the evening."
You know, at this time of year, snow in Dragonsgrave can grow quite pleasant. I'm sure that the tales about rather rusty banquets served in our rather modest keeper perhaps pale in comparison to this, but I can assure you that snowscapes do quite grow on you. One girl to another, and then as a girl, I'm just gonna wink at her. I'm not gonna say anything there.
Well, Baroness, it was a pleasure and informative dinner. Argos shall show you to the circle where he will bring you back to your place of home. I'm sure you will find some use for that scroll. Do not worry about expending it.
Pleasure
It
was
can be
mine.
used once per day, but it will not spend itself.
Thank you, Ikara. I
I'll
will
just bow
then
really deeply.
then I will take my leave with Tanya.
She actually stops Tanyan. My dear, Maege, you don't see this. Very specifically, you make sure you don't see this. He
Okay.
looks at you, Tanya. Says, "You're wise to hide your nature." He winks very slowly, and when the eye opens, purely black. Sits back down. A reminder, none of you know this except for Tanya. Tanya, big
Okay.
to walk.
Yeah, that's no
Argos.
problem, Maege.
Argos kind of moves and says, "Please, if you will, Baroness, to follow me to the teleportation room. I shall bring you back to your home post-haste."
Thank you, Lord Argos.
Moves forward inside the room. There's a large teleportation circle, but Argos immediately pulls some switches, and you see runes surrounding the room. All close. Seems like a similar defense to what you have, only more automated. Tells you to step in the circle. Draws the runes to your place. It was a pleasure. Were brought back into your own teleportations with Tanya.
Oh,
I'm just going to
God.
look over to Tanya. Rather successful,
Why?
don't you think?
It
Did you think of that?
was. Well, for one thing, I still hate spellcasters, but your wizard friend there seems to be hiding her true nature as well.
I'm told she's a woman of many secrets.
I
She
can only
keeps-
aim to have the same kind of
she-
secrets. Apparently, everyone sees through me.
keeps-
Can't wait for that mithril item.
A very good changeling then. I'm just going to we're a little backhanded.
God! When is
There.
that mithril gonna get fixed? I hate spellcasters.
Rather simple woman in Frost Garden did say that wisdom does tend to blossom around the same time womanhood does. Then Maege is just going to walk.
I'm 18, Mage! I'm just gonna stomp while following her.
If you are 18, I am just going to turn back. If you are 18, are you saying you are ready to be wed?
No! Maybe you should worry about that for you and Ada first before you start worrying about my marriage.
I don't know about that. Did you see the way Lady Kiara looked at me?
Are we
I
really
don't know.
going to that territory? I mean, I'm not the one to judge, Mage, but I mean, you've never had a boyfriend before. Oh,
How do you know I've never had a boyfriend before? Hey, hey.
your mom would. Well, you never really have time, and I think everyone in this castle is either afraid of you or respects you too much to even go as far as touch your fingertip.
This is an awkward conversation.
That is true.
Mhm. You should really get out of the castle
That's
at some
great.
point. I mean,
I did. And that was a very interesting excursion, was it not?
God,
So,
That'll be all.
this problem.
If you
um,
run into your sister Ada, tell her to see me in my quarters.
Babe, she's a changeling. She can turn into a girl, into a guy, and you two can have children. Yeah, I approve of this relationship. I'm just gonna like go towards Ada, making sure that no one's around to hear me. By the way, just going to Ada soon.
Can changelings do that, DM, on a meta
Mhm.
level?
yes, they can breed with any gender.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Um, so
Just
you
gonna go back to my room.
you're in your room, Tanya. You find Ada just finishing the longest bath she has ever had. Still a few scars, but kind of healing.
Ada,
I'm going to open the door. Hey, I
are
almost
you alright?
died.
Yeah, Maege said you were
We
up
lost two
against.
men.
Sorry
We
about
lost
that.
two handsome men.
God damn it! What if they were butt ass ugly? Would you not react like? God damn it, Ada. Anyway, Maege is calling for you.
I mean.
Ada, no! He's gonna like go to.
I'm going.
At least you had
Damn it,
two men to
Ada.
lose. Mage is here, dry as a well.
Dry as
Yeah, and you lowered my salary for that joke.
Speaking
Ada.
of salary, you still owe me.
And you lowered my salary for that.
Ada, you are called by
Yeah?
Maege. As you approach to her room,
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming still not knocking. Kind of moving like the
No.
Shining. Here's Ada. He's gonna walk
Here's
in.
Where's
Ada.
Johnny?
Why are you echoing, by the way?
Ada,
Sorry.
how
Yeah.
are you?
What's-
Go on.
I am okay, I guess. I just took a bath a while ago. What do you need?
Take it that those two handsome studs is still weighing down heavily on you.
Let's not talk about that. What do you need?
Right. I'm just going to pull out the scroll.
Ooh, what kind of spell is that?
As a warlock, Nigel, I can understand how it works, right? Kiara naman explained it to me.
Yes. No, sorry. As a
Okay.
warlock, the problem is that you don't understand magic. You were just gifted with it. But she did
Okay.
explain to you what the scroll can do and how much effort it will take.
You don't have to study you have a sugar daddy to give it to you.
Or mommy?
She did explain to
Mommy.
you how the scroll works, and she did explain that whoever does it is going to need like a week off from casting spells. It's an intensive thing to do.
Well, Ada, since don't look like you really get any action on a weekly basis, I think you'd find this scroll useful. Something that speeds up the feeding process for a lot of our livestock. I do remember mentioning before I left that I am leading the rather dashing Sir Alden in your care and charge. Maybe you might want to see this to him. Of course, such a scroll is bound to attract the attention of the wrong people, so I would appreciate if you kept it under wraps. Then I'm just going to wink at Ada.
Okay. I'm going to do it. Wait,
Yes.
I want to
And
take
of
the
and
scroll.
of course,
Yeah.
one last thing, dearest sister.
Oh, I can hear. Oh no.
Mage,
You
can't hear
can't
you.
hear.
Mage,
I'm sorry. You have to.
Yeah,
Mage,
hello.
can't hear
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
There you go.
Can you
There
hear
you
me
go.
now?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay. And of course, dearest sister, I wouldn't punish you for studying the inner workings or machinations of the scroll. It is a very generous gift from Lady Kiara. I suggest you make the most out of it too.
How sorry. How many days should I study it?
As long as you need to. But the people of Frost Garden don't have that long, so I'm sure they would appreciate. You know,
Expediency.
I'm sure they would appreciate some expediency. Winter boar is quite a delicacy.
You have a point.
Some of my Frankly, I want some winter boar myself. The actual pig, not what you're thinking of.
What? What do
You're
you
echoing.
mean? I'm sorry. What do you mean?
To your room, Ada. I have things to do.
Okay. I'm going to grab the scroll and then leave.
Okay. Then, Nigel, after she leaves, there's something warlocky I need to try to do. Those 2 nights that fell.
Okay. What?
First, I'm going to check if all the doors are shut.
Yeah.
I am going to shut all the windows and close the door.
Your room was the first one, I believe, that was kind of warded. So yes, you are in the safest room in the castle.
Okay, good. Right. I need to talk to my patron. I'm going to summon anything. I need to talk
Yeah.
to my patron.
Your sugar daddy.
Make me a religion roll.
Sugar Daddy Cthulhu.
This should be interesting.
Welcome back to COC.
That also does mean though that everyone in the castle that can. Does that also mean that everyone in the spellcaster who can in this keep who can remotely detect magic is going to send something horribly wrong?
Well, that's what the wards are for, to prevent divination. So if they detect magic, your room is a hotbox. Nothing can be detected in there.
I mean,
No?
Mage's room hasn't been warded yet.
Oh no, sorry, that's Ida's room that's been warded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So my room hasn't been.
Nope. So anyone who tries to detect magic. Oh, okay, nice.
22.
22. Okay. So stay in for a second, and this is something you don't normally do. Not so much prayer as it is beseeching this very being that gave you your abilities. Sit down. Stay. You see all the lights in your room. All the candles blow out. There's darkness, and the only light source is from the moonlight hitting this large glass window, peeking through the curtains that you have closed. As the curtains shun out the last bit of light. There is a large, flaming eye in front of you. A giant, flaming eye. Same that you have only seen once before in your childhood that had granted you your abilities. I did not expect to hear from you, but I will humor you. What?
Mage allowed to look at the thing directly because right now I'm just looking down.
Yeah. No rule. There are no set
just going to
rules,
look-
so you can do what you think you do because there are no set rules to this.
I'm just going to look at the eye and go I've always been My lord, I have always been a humble servant and attendant. Last night, last night,
Sorry, I can't hear you.
hello?
Can you repeat
Can you
that?
hear me
Last
now?
night? Yeah, last night.
Brought to my attention, my lord, that last night 2 of the mortals in my charge were unforeseenably taken by, by, by some of your servants, of which I am one of the most eminent.
My servant, you are mistaken. These creatures, not servants. They are cowards.
Cowards, my lord.
They inhabit your land. Escape our wrath.
My lord, is there any way I may serve you? Perhaps by bringing these cowards into your domain. It would
These are the petty squabbles of man. Do not concern me. They had run instead of defended their land. That is where we. These creatures do not serve us. Fear us.
It seems unfitting, my lord. The boundaries of your greatness, even on this world, be thus confined. So, not that it were confined, but even if they did fear you, as my patron and being your humble servant, I see no reason for them to be kept running from you. Perhaps I would ask for a boon or your blessing, confer or congregate with these creatures, so that I may further your greatness.
Make a persuasion check.
I am about to get into some very deep dark shit here. COC.
Up.
Persuasion.
Making a deal with an elder god. That's the problem.
What could go wrong?
25. Nice. Just kind of looks, acknowledges. The flame around the eyes, this red flame, begins to dull into a black and white kind of mixture. Dewy interest. He just kind of looks at you, staring, this one eye looking directly at you. And you can feel something piercing through your eyes. Not pain, but power. Just. And you can feel this sort of burning sensation at the top of your forehead. As you look at your own reflection on the mirror or any kind of reflective surface, you find there's a burning eye the same shape on your forehead that just that disappears, embeds itself into your skin and disappears.
Oh.
Speak to them with the ability I have given you. They will cower. Be wary of your choices and the words you speak. It does not take much for them to realize that you are mortal. In front of you apparates a scepter. A golden scepter with a sort of ruby, with a sort of eye at the top, similar to the shape, but there's a ruby at the center of the eye in place of the pupil. This will grant you any power. should things not go as... The eye steps back.
Thank you.
I am curious to see how this will end.
Thank you, my lord.
The eye disappears and scatters into flames that light up your candles. And your curtains open up. You are gifted with a scepter.
Am I able to immediately detect anything about it?
The scepter, not at the moment. However, your awakened mind ability, at least for the aberrations that you encounter moving forward, they will know that when you use your awakened mind, they will know that you are granted abilities from the old ones, who they are running from. It's an intimidation tactic.
Okay.
But that is all that it is.
Ooh.
It's an intimidation tactic, so you have to be careful what you say, and how, because if you make threats about them coming here, that those aren't real, roles, and you have to roll for it. But this gives you that opportunity. The scepter, you don't really know what it does.
Yeah.
But
please don't let me fight.
What does it look like?
It is a golden kind of rod that, imagine just a cylindrical rod that has this snake kind of wrapped around it. The snake, at the very top of it, the snake's mouth is open, and that is where the eye is coming from. And that sort of eye shape is on the top, connected to the snake's mouth with a ruby in place of the pupil. Ruby faces one way. You also realize that as you're holding on to it, it disappears to your hands. And as you focus a little more, you're able to summon it and release it from its form at will.
Ooh. The moonlight back?
Yes, the moon is back, and from what you can tell from the clock, that conversation took maybe 5 or 6 minutes. The clock has not moved.
I'm in a cold sweat. I'm in a cold sweat, probably. Oh boy.
So, you have contacted a great old one. Curious to see how that's going to end up. Tristan, you said you had something to do about the mines.
Yes, I'm just gonna approach Jonas.
Amanda?
Yeah, I think I have a solution to our problems. I see you earlier a little disappointed about what you suggested.
Slaying innocent lives is not for my taste.
Can you accompany me to Rosanna?
Of course. Forward.
On the way, once I see Tristan, I'm just gonna look at him with a kind of sharp look in my eyes that says, "You still owe me." Then I'm gonna pass through them just quietly, just when they're crossing, just gonna give him that look, "You still owe me 2,000 gold." Then I'm gonna leave.
Have 100.
Just looks and says, "Your youngest sister never ceases to terrify."
I know. I owe him money. Let me just walk.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just gonna ask, Rosanna.
Yes, Lord Commander.
And Jonas, this mine is a resource that is really needed at the moment in order to improve the living conditions that we have. Can you create a certain type of an alarm or something similar that can alert the people who are mining about incoming people?
It would highly depend, Lord Commander, on the distance of the alarm, how far it needs to be, what it needs to do, and also we are still working on the daylight spells to be infused and the scroll that Lady Ida has provided.
Oh shit.
There's quite a bit on the plate. I was under the impression that the food and produce was the top priority. Is that no longer the case?
Oh, it's still? I just need a short alarm and maybe some sort of illusion when the alarms are triggered so that the mines may look like a normal cave filled with darkness type of thing.
It will take quite a bit of time to prepare an illusion of such a size. If I was told of the right size of the mines, it may
Maybe
take...
just the entrance so that it's something that is not obscure or something that is not noticeable.
Assume that you require both sound deafening and physical, or at least appearance-wise illusions.
I'm just looking at Jonas. Jonas, is there some way that we can make something inside the mine that will make the miners hide if the alarm is tripped?
Very good.
A place where they can hide safely.
The mines themselves, Commander, are vast with lots of crevices to hide in. That is a natural formation of it. It all depends on how well the miners actually know how to hide.
Okay.
You see Rosanna scroll in one hand, a bunch of metal orbs in the other, with Celestine on the other hand.
Just a
just
backlog
looking
of things that needs to be done.
This will take quite a bit of time to infuse yet another item with an illusion and a permanent alarm to be set that no longer needs to be set every time. Looks around. Yeah, Lord Commander, in short supply of wizards and sorcerers in this barony, but perhaps in the next 2 weeks or so, after I've completed the daylight spell is almost complete. Celestine, just mentioned this scroll, and
Yeah,
she's studying it. I will need a bit of research time. I'm assuming that you want the illusion to at least not so easily be dispelled, which will take quite a bit of effort. The alarm to not have to be reset will also take time and materials. You can see she's doing math in her head.
Yeah.
It would require at least 2 weeks, given everything else here, and about 7,000 gold worth of materials. Use the items necessary to create what you are asking for.
That's the information that I need, and thank you very much, Rosanna.
Goes back to the orbs and the scrolls.
Yes. Yeah, and then I'll just thank you very much. Me and Jonas are just walking. And I'm just saying to Jonas, I'll just talk to the Baroness about this. How important is the mining thing over the food? But yeah, this is the only solution that I have to think of in a short amount of time. It will.
Of course. Nods. Alright.
What is Maege doing what time is it?
Closer to midnight.
Closer to midnight. No, I'm just gonna rest. I'm just gonna tell her tomorrow.
There's bloodshot eyes in her room. One
Bloodshot,
hand is a tentacle.
green, has veins coming out of her eyes.
Hand is yeah. One hand is a tentacle, like she's like flipping out in the room.
Ida,
it's midnight and the wizards are still working.
Yeah.
You are asking them for quite a bit of effort. Infusing
but
an item with a spell is not that easy. Especially
what time
for
do
wizards.
they rest?
They barely do these days.
Yeah, that's why.
They're pretty much using Greater Restoration to get rid of the exhaustion from themselves.
Okay.
But They're pretty much using greater restoration themselves and the diamond dust that they have on hand just to keep themselves going, like cocaine. Ida, you have the scroll. You are aware of what was told to Maege, that anyone who performs this will be taxing and will need a bit of rest before they can go to do strenuous activities. But it is doable, and it will definitely help. Turning a few years of breeding into 3 or 4 weeks until you have a massive horde that you can start selling, butchering, feeding. It is by no means a very elegant or pretty process, but it is effective. Tanya, the last bit thing before we end the night. Tanya, you find that closer to midnight as you're about to sleep, assuming like after your shower, Lucas is on the highest tower, kind of looking out. Beyond earshot. It's curious that he's still up, just looking out. It's not his normal behavior. At least not this late.
I'm still in my winter pajamas, but I am going to stealth towards him. Make sure no one else sees me.
Fine. You can take the same path he did. He sits there. Master?
Well, you're up late.
I am? I don't necessarily have a sense of time. Can I do anything for you, Master?
Get some rest. We've literally hiked the mountain over the whole day. Lucas. Should really get some rest.
Wasn't all right. I will. Bit. Will in a bit.
So is this paranoia that's keeping you up?
No. Just curiosity.
That's honestly quite new for you. You're usually very stoic. I don't hate it.
Curiosity of people. Struggle to understand. Struggle to understand. I understand the nature of people. I understand how they react. Understand that if you kill someone's parents, they will vengeance. Or if they are peaceful, they will let go and forgive. Understand that if you kill someone, there are those who may be angry with you. I understand the reactions to consequences. I understand the consequences to the actions. I do not understand why. Why are people so keen on gaining power? Their lives are so fleeting. People so obsessed with warring over each other. And money. Even your brother and yourself insisting on paying me back for gold that I have no use for. I have all of that because you kept giving me money since I was a child and I have no use for it. Assassin, you provide me with my weapons, I need nothing else. Money is so important to all of you. Power. I understand that it is, but I don't understand why. I don't understand the propensity to repeat history. Forgive me, Master, but was it not your parents' demise? Was it not caused by everything that you are all trying to do now?
I'm going to walk next to him, I'm gonna lean on the edge of the tower. Well, I can't really say much for them. I'm not exactly good with all of this politics and whatever that they do, but Maege, Tristan, Ada, they do what they can. Maybe they are trying to pursue gold, but the reason why they're trying to do it is because, or at least for people like you or the others, to be able to live through comfortably. You don't have a need for gold, and the castle provides you whatever you need, everything else. If you don't have the gold to support people like that support us, then we will be left with nothing.
Before I was here, living comfortably, I requested the master, your father, to be allowed to live on the forest. In fact, most days I still sleep outside of the walls, atop the trees. Weapons I try to scavenge. I have not let myself be so self-reliant. I have not let myself be so reliant on the family. Otherwise I would be useless. I do not necessarily understand. All this fighting for territory and power? Wasting lives? Seems like a waste of your opportunity to live. An opportunity that can be so easily taken away with just a single dagger.
That's true. Well, you know what we talked about before? People like us, we're just waiting. If there are people who are going to die first, it's going to be you and me. But
Of course.
I don't know what Maege is planning on doing. But from what I can see, she's doing her best to assist anyone. The village that we've been given with, the moment we stop working is the time they will start to fall. If we don't work for food, they won't survive through the winter. If
That is
we don't have
because
gold,
you have
then we won't be
gotten.
able to sustain.
That is because you have made yourself so used to pampered. House, soldiers, slaves and servants and squires. Why do people wish to get used to something that they have to work so hard to keep? Simpler to just live on your own. Self-reliant will never miss anything that you lose. You don't have a need for gold. You can survive on your own, then you will not miss losing it. Just comes off the edge. Apologies, Master. Just curious. I was hoping that I might find answers here. Might make me a stronger, more effective assassin. I know why and how. I know how people react. I figure if I knew why, it would be that much easier to kill them with it. You'll excuse me. Walks down the tower.
Lucas,
Yes, Master.
don't feel sorry about sharing your thoughts.
My thoughts rarely have a place. Well, you'll excuse me, Master.
Well, have a good night, Lucas.
Walks down the spiral staircase.
Just going to throw my hoodie, then I'm going to stealth.
And then going to
After
sleep.
maybe 5 minutes.
Yep. So, you all find your evening's rest. And tomorrow and next week, see where that leads you. Yes.
I'm guessing my room is untouched, right? The traps are not triggered.
Maege, did you happen to leave any passive orders regarding Tanya's room?
I don't think I did naman, no.
Okay. Then yes, your room
Yeah.
hasn't been touched yet.
My room is secure. Okay, I'm just gonna go to sleep.
Alright. So, evening's rest comes to you. And that is where we'll end tonight. For
Next
anyone...
week,
Yeah.
next week I need to visit Baron Drogus, right? And I also have an appointment with the Guild of Warfare.
Yep. All within the week.
Will the miners, next week na din yung miners?
Yes.
The eligible
Fuck!
people.
So,
I need to talk to me.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
good night to anyone watching. I'm so happy PLDT has not screwed us over again. I still hate everyone working in that godforsaken company. Good evening, and see you next week.
Saving lives.
Good night.
Guild.